Welcome to Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers hosting the Patriots for the third time in the last 11 months. The top two seeds in the AFC a year ago. They met last January in the AFC Championship game, as well as back earlier in the regular season. And now they meet in week 3 of the 2005 season. Hello, friends. Jim Nantz along with Phil Simms. And what does this one mean so early in the season?
Well, week 3, Jim, I don't think it's too early to say that it is an important game. These are two playoff-bound teams, probably, and the outcome of today's game could determine who has home field at the end of the year.
All right, Phil. Of course, the Steelers have won their first 2 games, and the Patriots are 1-1. And today's game is brought to you in high definition by Sony. So the Steelers win the toss and will receive. Roethlisberger and his efficient Steeler offensive unit will be on the field first. Ike Taylor, Ricardo Coakley awaiting the kick of Vinatieri. And it's a deep kick, a beauty. All the way back, midway through the end zone. Stepping back is Taylor for the touchback. And Ben Roethlisberger takes the field. He's never lost as a starter in regular season play, but overall, the only team to beat him, the Patriots in that playoff game a year ago. Solid start for him so far. He's the #1 rated passer in the league. And there's Marvell Smith coming off his first Pro Bowl. 3 Pro Bowlers on that line. And ladies and gentlemen, get ready to meet Willie Parker. Willie Parker Jr. starting at running back, back-to-back 100-yard performances to begin this season. They come out in 2 tight ends, Tooman and Miller. And that's the rookie Miller moving over to the right side. And there's Willie Parker with that burst. And a quick 6 and a quick update back to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Jim, at the Meadowlands, the Jaguars threatening in overtime, but Byron Leftwich will be picked off here by Jets rookie Kerry Rhodes inside the 15-yard line. It's a 20-20 game, just over 12 minutes to play in this first overtime period. Back to you.
All right, Greg, and thank you for that update, as that one, I'm sure, will be being kept posted on that overtime clash. But you see, Dwayne Starks is down on the field, and he was starting today, as Tyrone Poole is inactive, and Starks has been questionable with a thigh injury, and it's re-aggravated right away. Here are the rest of the Patriots defensive squad. Richard Seymour, their captain, and Chad Brown, who began his career in Pittsburgh, then on to Seattle, and now in his first season with New England, 13th season overall. And Rodney Harrison, the ferocious, strong safety, who had a pick and a run back for a touchdown of a Roethlisberger pass last year in the AFC final. So Chad Scott comes in after 1 play for Starks.
It's like a replay of last year's regular season game. Ty Law gets hurt early in the game, really affected the Patriots secondary as the game wore on.
2nd down and 4. And they blitz Big Ben, who gets it away, and Parker is punished by Vrabel. Vrabel hammers him back at the 20 as Rodney Harrison was honing in on the quarterback.
Well, Rodney Harrison has just such a good feel of when to blitz, and blitzing is all about timing. He was right in the same sequence with Ben Roethlisberger, so that's why he came in free. The offensive line, no chance, nobody sees him. Roethlisberger does a good job of just getting rid of the football.
The completion loses 6 yards, and Cedric Wilson has come in as a 3rd receiver. On 3rd and 10. From the gun, again, they're chasing after Roethlisberger, who fires and nearly caught at the 30. Harrison defending. Ward had a hand on it.
Well, this game today, the New England defense, of course, every defense wants 3rd and long. Look at Jarvis Green. He is going to outrun Roethlisberger. He has to get rid of the football. And something he did last year, you can't take chances against a defense on 3rd and long that is playing for the pass and hoping you make a mistake like that.
Well, he had 2 pass plays, and he was under heavy pressure on each occasion. Gardaki in to punt, 3 and out for the Steelers. The deep return man is Tim Dwight. Gets the handle at the 35. Swings to the right side, past the 50, before Heinz drops him. And that's at the 46-yard line. That was actually Andre Frazier with the hit after the 45-yard punt, 19-yard run back. Tom Brady. Boy, when he has lost, of course, that's been infrequent. He has bounced back and has not lost the second game since the beginning of the 2003 season. 5-0 backing up a loss. The first rounder, Mankins at left guard from Fresno State. And Corey Dillon off to a start that is very un-Dillon-like with only 99 yards through 2 games, 2.7 yards per carry. But excellent starting position here for the champion Patriots at the 46. 3 tight ends to open the game. Up the middle and Dillon for a yard. That's it. Coming off 1,635 yards a year ago. His career high by exactly 200 yards. And also set the Patriots single season mark as well. This defense of Pittsburgh with Hampton on the nose. And Porter, who can make things happen and get in the face of the quarterback. Polamalu coming off a 3-sack performance in a win at Houston. 2nd down and 9. It's Dillon. And he got a chance to get a running start as he moves it inside the 40 for 6 yards. Larry Foote grabbed him by the ankle. Here's your spotlight when the Patriots have it, Phil.
Well, keep them honest. That's what this New England offense, can they run the ball well enough? They keep the Pittsburgh defense, make them come up there and try to stop the run so they can get big pass plays. Pittsburgh's defense, patience. Don't crowd the line of scrimmage. Sit back. They pride themselves in not giving up big plays. Last year in the championship game, they gave up the big pass plays, and that was one of the reasons why they lost the game.
3rd down, 3. And Dillon, another carry, and he has the first. Good piece of blocking on that right side, Phil, to free him for 6.
Corey Dillon told you last night they're off to a somewhat of a sluggish start running the football, but he says, hey, and Jim, I heard it so many times when I played for the New York Giants, running the football is about your attitude. It's about how you feel about it. And Corey Dillon said, last week we had attitude in practice, and you can see it already in the first couple runs by the Patriots.
Yeah, you're not talking just the attitude of Dillon. You're talking about a team attitude.
Team attitude, linemen, everybody.
1st and 10, and the pass to Gibbons. Gets the feet down at the 17. We've got another update. Let's send it right back to Greg in New York.
All right, Jim and Phil in Philadelphia. Kerry Collins from 27 yards out finds Doug Gabriel behind the secondary with the extra point. The Raiders pull into a 20-20 tie. 2 minutes to play in the 4th quarter in Philly, guys.
All right, how about that? So 20-20 in that one with 2 minutes to play, and the Jags and the Jets 20 all in overtime. Thank you for the update. Kevin Falk in the backfield on 1st down, and Falk races for maybe 3 yards. Again, Larry Foote on the tackle.
They're really interesting. You know, Jim, the Patriots, they have a formula to success. They've always, over the years, the 3 Super Bowls in the last 4 years, they've been patient with their running game. And maybe last week against the Carolina Panthers, they got away from it. So you're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. How many times did Bill Belichick use the word tough last night? The Steelers are tough. So you know they talked about all week, let's out-tough them. That means run the football.
Brady fires it. Watson. And Ben Watson to the 4, and a 1st and goal to go after the 10-yard pass play to the 2nd-year tight end.
Well, just a nice change-up. Now that they have 2 tight ends in New England, which side do you favor? So Ben Watson, the defense is swung to the other side. He's wide open. Tom Brady sees him, puts it right on the money.
Corey Dillon is back in. He had a couple of touchdown rushes in the opening game victory over the Raiders. And it's 1st and goal for New England. They ship Faurier over to the right side, and they'll run it with Dillon. Dillon springs free. Touchdown, New England. Looked like he might be stopped right at the line of scrimmage, but he bounced away and found freedom in the end zone.
Attitude. That's what that drive looked like. It looked like an attitude. The play calling, the running, and when, Jim, you said it right, nothing is there, but no Pittsburgh Steeler can get off the block. all the linemen stayed with their guy that long. That's why there was a second look for Corey Dillon to score the touchdown.
Vinatieri coming in for the extra point try. Impressive beginning here for the Patriots, coming off that loss at Carolina last week.
Good. You look at the run. Corey Dillon takes it up the middle. There is nothing there. But since no Steeler, look at the line. What a good job up front, getting that extra blocks. Logan Mankins, what a job he did, just sealing his guy back into the backfield, and allows Corey Dillon to cut it back for the touchdown.
Well, Corey Dillon in his second year as a Patriot, and when it came time for him to say goodbye to Cincinnati, there were several teams who had interest in Corey Dillon, but Scott Pioli and Bill Belichick, they actually relied on Dick LeBeau's endorsement of Dillon. And Dick LeBeau, of course, now the defensive coordinator here in Pittsburgh, and he said, this is a quality guy. You want him. And it was interesting when we met with Dillon last night, when we asked him about his feelings about his former head coach when LeBeau was the head man there in Cincinnati. He said he was a real player's coach. His departure was way too early, and if I had it, it was up to me. If I had it my way, he would have still been the coach.
Well, that's right. He said he's my coach, so there was a good relationship there, and he knows what he's facing, of course, when he goes against Dick LeBeau's defenses. Stop the run, a lot of hitting. Corey Dillon says, you know you're playing the Steelers when you run the football up in there, and once you get hit, about 5 other guys hit you too. That's the Steelers defense. That's what they pride themselves on, but they didn't do a great job on that first drive.
You asked Corey Dillon last night, did that ring, that Super Bowl ring last year, disappoint you?
Yeah.
He said no, not a bit. It's pretty heavy. It is a gaudy, beautiful piece of jewelry. Here's the run back out to the 15 by Taylor. So tough, again, starting point for the Steelers. And Bonnie Bernstein, of course, with us as well this week. And Bonnie, a welcome to you as well.
Thanks, Jim. Good afternoon to you. Touching base with Bill Cowher before the game, he was pretty blunt with us when he told us he didn't think the Steelers had a good week of practice. He didn't think they were sharp, but he said, I'm not too worried about it because my team's good when they're on edge, and when I'm on edge, they're on edge. But he has been drilling into their heads, hey, don't expect this. Whatever happened last year is going to happen this year. We're 2-0, but we should have beat Houston and Tennessee. This is the barometer game to see if we know how to win consistently.
Well, here's Roethlisberger going for Ward, and he hits him in stride. Ward, with Samuel losing his footing, is going to take it all the way. 85 yards for a Pittsburgh touchdown.
Roethlisberger's pass complete to Heinz. Ward, 85 yards and a Steeler touchdown.
What a way to respond. Samuel and Wilson were both near him, and I think Samuel got his feet a little tangled up. He might have had a chance to chase him down otherwise, but he was never unbalanced, and Ward just took off, untouched.
Well, the crowd was out of the game. The Patriots did what they wanted to do, get it going their way like they did the championship game. But Ben Roethlisberger, he says he's a different quarterback this year, and he showed it on that play. Saw the situation and took advantage of it.
Tie converted by Jeff Reed. Heinz Ward has 514 career receptions now, and this is the first one of his career, the first one of that batch that's in excess of 80 yards.
Ben Roethlisberger looks to his left, something he did not do last year. He took advantage of a single to his right side. That play was designed to throw to his left. 3 receivers, but he made a decision as he came up to the line of scrimmage. He keeps Rodney Harrison in the middle, and he's not able to make the play. I'm sorry, it was Eugene Wilson in the middle of the field. But last year, almost in a similar situation, Ben Roethlisberger threw the ball short and missed Heinz Ward over the top for a touchdown. And he told us on Friday, if I see it again, I'll take advantage of it and we'll score. And that play really resembled what happened last year.
Roethlisberger rejoices. We saw Rodney Harrison really angry about this busted effort.
Well, Ben Roethlisberger said, I am going to do it with my eyes more this year. Look what he did last year. 1 so far in 2005. 50-plus yards, already has 3. He goes, I had to stare at the receivers last year. I didn't know the offense well enough to know what's going on. I just heard the play, look at the guy, and stare at him, and it caused some troubles, especially against teams like the New England Patriots.
Well, he hooked up twice with Heinz last week for touchdowns against the Texans. And a quick one, a long one here to tie the game at 7. Reed's kick. Run back, Bethel Johnson. And he pays a heavy price near the 20. You can log on to NFL.com every Monday morning and see what our own Shannon Sharp has to say about today's game, as only he can. That's every Monday only on NFL.com or NFL on AOL.
Well, the environment has changed drastically here in Pittsburgh. The towels are waving, the crowd noise is back, and last week the New England Patriots, I did not think they handled the crowd noise very well down in Carolina. False starts, penalties, just a lot of mistakes, and sometimes that happens when you have great crowd noise.
On first down, looking pass all the way. Brady across the middle to Dillon. 3 converge, and he is tackled at the 27. And we've got an update, some thrillers out there. Let's see what happens. Let's go to Greg.
Jim and Phil, this is how it ended at the Meadowlands in overtime. Byron Leftwich, pump fake, and then the veteran Jimmy Smith with the catch, the tightrope act. He reached the end zone for the touchdown. Jacksonville wins it over the Jets, 26-20.
All right, thank you, Greg. And wow, what a win for the Jags on the road, as the Jags now go to 2-1 on the season, and the Jets fall to 1-2. Second down and 6. Dillon straight ahead. It'll be 3rd and short coming up. 3rd actually in about 4.
You know, a lot of questions about this New England offense. Everybody, the national attention, the media. Will they miss Charlie Weiss? And I didn't even ask the question last night to anybody with the Patriots because I was not going to get an answer, and I know better. But Tom Brady talked about it. He just says, hey, I really like where our offense is going. Even though they struggled last week, he goes, I like what we did in training camp, and he thinks they're more diversified right now than they were last year.
Blitz coming on 3rd and 4, and Brady never had a chance. James Ferrier got him back at the 16. Clark Hagan's also in on the play. Got a Steeler down back at the 6.
James Ferrier, 51. It just looks like bad assignments by the Patriots. Nothing special there. The blitzer should have been picked up, and they make a mistake. I'm not sure if it's Tom Ashworth to the right. Looks like it could have been his fault.
This Pittsburgh team already with 11 sacks through 2 weeks of the season. That's best in the league, including 8 in the win against Houston. Adding to the total, Deshae Townsend was shaken up on the play. The cornerback for the Steelers, who had a pick of a Brady pass last year in the regular season meeting and ran it back for a touchdown.
Well, you look at this Steelers defense. You got Troy Polamalu, the safety. You've got 4 fast linebackers. Dick LeBeau likes to blitz. So there's a lot of combinations, and when you play them, boy, they will test your system, your knowledge, and what you're doing in a hostile environment. So that time the Steelers defense won the battle.
Josh Miller, the punter for the Patriots, the former Steeler, is not 100%. A shoulder injury, and he is going to give it a go here today. Kind of like the David Akers situation for Philadelphia. You know, he was questionable all week. Here's the run back. Randall L. He sets up the Steelers in fine position at the 49 of New England. In fact, we've got an update on Philly and Oakland. Let's go back to Greg.
Jim, David Akers of the Eagles, bothered by hamstring problems all day long, from 23 yards out with 9 seconds to go, has given the Eagles a 23-20 lead over the Oakland Raiders.
All right, Greg, did you see him clutching the hamstring after he successfully booted it through? He could not even attempt their first point after in that game today against Oakland. They had to bring in a linebacker, Mark Semino, to try to attempt the PAT, and he missed. But Akers somehow in the second half came back and kicks what looks like it's going to be the game winner with just seconds remaining. Fake to Parker. Roethlisberger wants to go deep again, and a flag against New England, probably against Chad Scott. Going back to Heinz Ward.
Well, I've always heard coaches talk about it. When the football is in the air, it's called the moment of truth.
Pass interference, 30. Defense, automatic first down at the spot of the foul.
It's the moment of truth. Chad Scott, number 30, top of your screen. He's in good position, but at the last second, he panics just a little bit. I could not see the contact. Maybe his left hand was on the back. Oh, boy, that looks pretty good. When I saw it live, it looked like a penalty, but as I watched the replay, hard to pick it out.
8 years he played for the Steelers. Talking about Chad Scott. That Oakland-Philly game is now final. The Eagles win it on the Akers field goal. And here comes Willie Parker driving, working hard until Chad Brown puts an end to it. And by the way, in that Oakland loss today, they had a couple of missed field goals by Sebastian Janikowski. There is an injured Patriot, and it is Rodney Harrison. Boy, this guy is such a valuable member of this incredible dynasty that Patriots have been putting together.
Watch number 37 coming up inside. Oh, and he gets his feet tangled up.
And he rolled the left ankle, looks like.
Well, he grabs his knee, Jim.
Yep.
He grabs it right away. Can't tell which receiver. Yeah, he just gets whiplashed in there. And boy, oh boy, you're missing Teddy Bruschi in the middle. Now if Rodney Harrison, this does not look good, even if it's going to be out for a while in this game regardless. You lose the middle of your defense. That is tough. Well, of course, it's tough for any team to overcome that.
My goodness.
But Rodney Harrison, kind of a quarterback, a leader. And to say he's active and a playmaker doesn't do him justice.
You know, we were just talking to him last night, Phil, about how he was really the constant in that secondary, that patchwork secondary that somehow was put together and was good enough to win a Super Bowl last year. And he called it one of the greatest feelings I've ever had to see the players that they put back there in the secondary and see them open their hearts and open their minds when no one was giving us a chance because they were so thin in the secondary.
Yeah. And he felt a lot of pride with it, Jim, because he kind of held it together like you said. And to hold it together in this league, to say that and to win a Super Bowl is, well, it just doesn't happen very often.
Willie McGinnis, 12 years on this Patriot defensive side, and he's watching a lot of his longtime mates.
Well, Bill Belichick said last night, well, we have 45 healthy guys to even dress today, and right off the start, 2 defensive backs.
We'd like to welcome many of you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, where the Patriots and Steelers have matching touchdowns, but at the moment there's a big injury concern here, and it's Rodney Harrison of New England, injured just a moment ago. He's been on the field for more than 2 minutes, and here's the injury, and it's not pretty. Watch the left leg. We've had to bring out a cart.
Well, he looks forward to every game, but his enthusiasm last night, just talking about today's game, going against Ben Roethlisberger, wanting to see if Willie Parker could do it against their defense. He was, he loves the challenge, and of course this was going to be a big challenge, and we just hope it's not too severe of an injury.
Heinz Ward came over to express his concern, and Eugene Wilson And again, many of you across the country just joining us on the very first play of the game. The Patriots starting corner, Dwayne Starks, re-aggravated a thigh injury and has not returned. Chad Scott took his position. This game opened with the Steelers winning the toss, going 3 and out, punting away to the Patriots, who then drove right down the field and scored from 4 yards out with Corey Dillon, only to see the Steelers come back after the kick on their first snap from the 15-yard line, go 85 yards, Roethlisberger to Heinz Ward to tie the game. And on the Patriots' next possession, Brady was sacked on 3rd down. They had to punt, and the Steelers, with excellent field position, have driven all the way down near the 20 of the Patriots. Again, this is the first score of the game. It was Dillon bouncing away from the traffic with a touchdown. Just minutes into it, but one play later, watch. It's Ward for the longest reception of his distinguished career. 85 yards. Rodney Harrison. He is a fearless leader. You'd seldom see him even acknowledge any pain. Usually able to just shrug it off, but this time you could tell instantly there was some major concern. Gus Scott, number 29, just in his 2nd year from Florida, has taken Harrison's position. And the Steelers face 2nd and 8 from the 22 of New England. Here's Willie Parker. Tries the left side for a couple before he is wrapped up by Chad Brown. The 3rd and 5 coming up.
I'll tell you what, this is some emotion that the New England Patriots, they're going to have to overcome this, to lose a couple players, to be up 7-0, and then you're always upset when you lose a player, but when it's somebody like Rodney Harrison, there's a lot of guys in the team thinking, you know, what are we going to do now?
Yeah, that's the one they turn to so often. With Bruschi out for the year. Vrabel also, though, of course, another very vocal leader. By the way, Starks is back on the field. 23 for the Patriots, and a bobble. Roethlisberger has to tuck it under, takes off, picks up the first. The big man down to the 10 for a first down.
Statue of Liberty play with the quarterback, and why they do this is because the Patriots are playing pass all the way. They're not rushing the quarterback, so they faked a little pump fake by Ben Roethlisberger. Not fast enough to get outside, but a nice piece of running. Cuts it back in, and look at the blocking down the field by the Steeler linemen. The Steelers have had that play in the playbook ever since they've had Cordell Stewart. They pulled it out again this week, and it worked well.
The Patriots defense, when the opposition has been inside the 20, has given up a touchdown all 5 times, and a timeout called by Pittsburgh. The Steelers on the drive. 1st and goal to go. First quarter, game tied at 7. We're back at Heinz Field. Jim Nantz with Bill Sims and Bonnie Bernstein. And the Steelers with an electrifying 85-yard touchdown. Roethlisberger to Heinz Ward, and now coming back on the next possession and driving. 1st and goal to go from the 10. Willie Parker, and he's met 2 yards behind at the line of scrimmage and got back. No gain. Willie Parker has been such a story these first 2 weeks. After 161 yards in the opener against Tennessee, an all-time rushing record in the 5 years that this stadium has been open. They backed it up with another 100-yard performance last week. Undrafted a year ago out of North Carolina.
Yep, undrafted, and the New England Patriots worried about Willie Parker. As you say about him, fast Willie Parker. It concerns their defense, his speed.
2nd and goal, and they give chase. Seymour was in his area for a moment. Roethlisberger now improvising and overthrows Randall L.
Well, when you watch Ben Roethlisberger run around, it is exciting. But what a job by the Patriots staying with their receivers as he moves around. You practice this during the week. You're Ben Roethlisberger. Well, you got to scramble. Nobody open. And then lock onto your guy. Look at the top of your screen. Chad Scott all over Randall L. And that is some job staying with him. Just shadow.
And for the first time this season, the Steelers bring in Deuce Staley. There he is. Suffered a knee injury in early August. Missed the first 2 games, and now movement on the right side on 3rd and goal.
False start, 73, offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
You know, Jim, we saw Roethlisberger run around, and he's done it quite a bit the first 2 games and made some big plays. But Bill Cowher, he goes, I don't want to stop it, but it concerns me. I want him to be more disciplined, to stay with our system more, because when you play really good teams, you just can't create it. And Roethlisberger found that out last year at the end of the season. Had a hard time moving around and making those spectacular plays, and it hurts receivers who are open down the field, your 3rd receiver sometimes, because you don't stay with them.
3rd and goal. They brought in a tall receiver, Quincy Morgan. And Roethlisberger with time fires near the goal line. Batted away by Asante Samuel.
Boy, this time he knew he had man-to-man coverage, so he could kind of lock into who he wanted to throw it to. But look at that. He double clutches, and this is where it comes. The arm strength and the size that he has as a quarterback allows him to make some throws when he's off balance, and he has to wait for the receiver to come open. Boy, that's nice coverage down the field.
He's trying to thread it to Antoine Randall L. That brings out Jeff Reed. Moving to the playoffs, has made 25 consecutive field goals. Not missed since early November a year ago, and he's good again from 33. They were down 7 quickly. 10 unanswered by the Steelers to lead first quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 40. Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, one taste and you get it. And by Chevy, the new Chevrolets, an American revolution.
And we're back here in Pittsburgh. And today MetLife is navigating the skies, providing aerial coverage of the game. And you can look to the skies for the MetLife blimps and plane as they team up with CBS all year long. Jeff Reed's kick. That's Bethel Johnson. Straight ahead and a gap. Johnson races, flag is down and by the ankles. What a tackle. That was a 46-yard run back. And there is a flag, however. Ike Taylor was the last man to get him.
Holding, 48, the return team. 10-yard penalty. Receivers will keep the ball. First down, timeout.
And that'll back up the Patriots. We'll be right back. The penalty on the kick return against the Patriots sends him back to the 17 instead of starting near midfield.
Special team mistakes. They had them last week. They start out this week with another one.
Driven down the line, maybe a yard. We've got a report from Bonnie.
Well, Jim, I wouldn't read too much into this because, as you know, the Patriots are very tight-lipped with injury information. But right now they are saying Rodney Harrison is questionable to return with the leg injury. You mentioned it. The impact of this guy, whether he's here or not, is huge. And he's really been the glue that's held the secondary together with all the injuries they've had.
All right, Bonnie, now we were having a discussion during the break about when you start ranking the players on the Patriots that you cannot afford to lose. You know that Rodney Harrison's got to be somewhere in your first 3, maybe 5 players.
Well, Teddy Bruschi, Rodney Harrison, I'd put them both in the top 5, that's for sure.
Defender fell down, so Branch is open for the first down. Well, you got to think about Brady, Dillon, Bruschi, Branch, and Harrison in some order. Those are your 5. And
you know, you have to think about it. There's Deion Branch, just caught it, and still, Jim, you say it all the time. He is a unknown commodity around the NFL still. Even though he's the Super Bowl MVP, we watch him week in and week out. He's fast, he's explosive. Even though he's not tall, he plays big because he's stout and he's got some toughness, a lot like Heinz Ward for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Like Bill Belichick told us, a smart, instinctive player. On 1st and 10, Dillon knocked down after a yard. And tomorrow, Dave's in the audience with Know Your Current Events. Plus the one and only Bill Murray, The Late Show with David Letterman, tomorrow on CBS. Now, back to that point about Deion Branch. For those who were involved in it, I guess statistics show that something like 17 million people play fantasy football. They had Deion Branch and a lot of those fantasy prognosticators like 25th or 30th best receiver in the league, coming off a 10-catch,
so wait,
140-yard Super Bowl.
Yeah, what are you trying to tell me? We should pay attention to what fantasy people are doing?
You know, yeah.
I don't care about their opinions.
Over here is Graham with the incompletion. Point is that a year ago, even in the regular season game here at Pittsburgh, Branch was unavailable for the bulk of the regular season. And after missing almost all of it, he came on and starred in the postseason, starred here in the AFC Championship game. Who will forget that 60-yard?
Well, Jim, you know, listen, we talked about him last night. Tom Brady, Bill Belichick says he's one of the few guys that can stay out, and when he comes back, he's right in rhythm. Tom Brady says if it's all equal, trust me, I'm throwing to Deion Branch every time.
Branch lines up to the left side on 3rd down and 10. Brady zings it, has his man for the first down. It's Troy Brown. Troy Brown advances the football to the Pittsburgh end.
Really a terrific job by this New England Patriots offensive line and offense, just picking up the blitz. Watch the Steelers defense. Look at everybody moving. Who are you supposed to block? Troy Polamalu all the way up the line of scrimmage, turns and runs backwards, but Tom Brady has the time, and when you try to be too creative on defense sometimes, somebody gets wide open. Troy Brown that time.
So they move the chains to the Steelers 47. Quickly over to Branch. Trying to shake off Ike Taylor, but Taylor hung in there for a gain of only 4. Brady has hit now 6 out of 7 to 5 different receivers.
I've said it many times, you know, Jim, and the Steelers, they live on this. Stopping the run and confusing you with their athletes and get to the quarterback with the blitz. But over the years, the Patriots have been one of the top 2 or 3 teams in my eyes when it comes to not letting blitzing teams ruin what they're going to do on offense.
Kevin Falk in the backfield, 2nd and 6, and it's Falk. And he is ridden down by Larry Foote, who's already been on a handful of plays.
Well, Larry Foote, it's one of the reasons Kendrell Bell is out in Kansas City. He filled in last year, and they just go, wow, another good linebacker in Pittsburgh. It's pretty amazing.
You know, you're talking last night to Chad Brown, who's a former Pittsburgh linebacker, now with the Patriots, and he started rattling off some of the names from his time here. It's amazing, like I say, who's come through the system at linebacker. And they've got some good ones now with Ferrier and Foote, Porter and Higgins. See if they can make a play on 3rd and 6. Polamalu threatening the blitz. Brady has an open man. It's Falk for the first.
Another good job. Another good job by the Patriots. Only 2 defensive linemen in there. So the Patriots, what happens, how you can be good at picking up blitzes, just stay where you are and let the defenders come to you. That's what they did, and that's why Falk is wide open out in the flat. Here they come in the blitz inside. Offensive lineman, it's an old saying they had. Don't chase somebody, wait. Somebody will come to you.
Dillon running behind Patrick Cass. And Dillon, that was a similar play to one he broke for a touchdown in the AFC Championship game here, right behind Pass. That one gained 8.
Well, yeah, let's just listen to this one. There's a little noise going on out on the field. Well, It's Corey Dillon. Jim, I think when we talked to him last night, you could see the determination and just see it in his face, his words. He's a proud man, and he's not happy with the way he's run the football the first couple of weeks.
2nd and 2, he gets the call again, and that only gets a yard. He said the results thus far, not acceptable.
Yeah.
And that may have been the last play of the quarter. A lot of action in this opening quarter, including the 85-yard touchdown. 10-7, Steelers lead it after 1. We'll return after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by KFC's new flavor station. When your wings are dipped any way you want, you're in charge. Be the boss. Choose your sauce at KFC.
Tonight, after 60 minutes, the season premiere of Cold Case. A whole new season of unsolved mysteries and the search for justice tonight on Cold Case on America's most watched network. We pick up the second quarter with the Patriots driving at the Pittsburgh 26. 3rd down and a yard to go. Had early pressure, but then dives for the first. Got away from Aaron Smith.
Boy, it's amazing. You say it, and you're sitting at home, you go, come on, what are you talking about? This is a really, really good 1-yard run. What a move. Corey Dillon, big man, runs powerful, and that time showed the light feet to get around and not get tackled by Aaron Smith.
Nifty 2-yard run by Dillon. And the Patriots have a new set of downs right at the 25, we'll call it. Kevin Falk in the backfield. And Falk gets his 3rd carry of the game with room. For he is met head on by Chris Hope. Looks like he's going to gain a whole lot more, but only 4 yards.
It did. It's blocked about as well as you can block it. They get to the outside, the pulling guard, Daniel, and watch Hope's hit. And it's the one thing you get admiration when you talk to the Patriots about the Steelers. They say everybody on defense, they're tough, and all 11 can tackle, and Chris Hope showed you that on that play.
2nd down and 6. And it's right back to Falk up the middle and a quick dart about a yard shy of the first. Running behind Matt Light and Logan Mankins.
And patience, that's what they're showing on offense so far. Being patient, staying with the running game. Slow the pace of the game down. Do that. What do? Well, you frustrate the defense. You take the crowd out of the football game. You're down in there near their end zone, and you don't have to worry about crowd noise. That's when you know it's going your way.
You got Seymour lined up in the backfield as a fullback. Trying to clear the way for Falk, and he fights for it. He's got it. Kevin Falk, if you remember, a year ago when they made the appearance here on Halloween, Falk was really the only healthy back they had. Dillon was out, and they had for the game 6 yards rushing.
Well, a lot of that had to do with the fact Falk was the only runner, and they fell behind early, and Richard Seymour, not a bad job being a lead blocker. Don't be indecisive when you're a lead blocker on 3rd and 1. Make your mind up and then just pile it in there, and that's what he did.
1st down, New England. With a screen pass for Falk. With help and a fumble picked up on one hop. It's Larry Foote. Brady had a hand on him, and then Branch knocked him down by the ankles. Jerome Bettis celebrates. The defense comes up with the turnover in the red zone. Pittsburgh possession.
Watch Stephen Neal. He's going to block Clark Hagans, and Clark Hagans does an awesome job. Gets off the block, pulls the football loose, and Larry Foote picks it up, and he's down the sideline. If that play is not made, it's a walk-in touchdown. It fooled the Pittsburgh defense completely, except for Clark Hagans making that Great play.
As Willie Parker smothered after a yard. How about this? The Patriots had possession for 15 plays in over half a quarter. 7 minutes, 37 seconds, and they come away empty.
Well, it's kind of a trend so far with the Patriots. Mistakes. That was another one. You're looking at it. Coaches are going, oh, it's a touchdown. Oh, it's a fumble. And the Steelers have it in good field position.
And they have Deuce Staley in the backfield with Heinz lined up as the fullback. 2nd down and 9. Roethlisberger look down the middle, goes back again over the top. Randall L at the 40. Free at the 20. Cuts back middle and laterals. Why? Why would you do that? Tried to hit Heinz Ward and the ball's loose and it belongs to New England. Randall L saw Heinz Ward coming down the middle of the field. Of course, Randall L, a former option quarterback at Indiana. Not what they were looking for from the Pittsburgh sideline.
Well, he just misjudged it, Jim. I know the thought was pretty good, but they were moving so fast. That's what made an exchange like that so hard. But what a play by Ben Roethlisberger. As he's going to see Randall L go across the field. He gets ready to throw it, doesn't like it, pulls it down, and Randall L, very perceptive, keeps moving, finds the open space, and he is wide open. And then does a nice job of cutting back. Good blocking down the field by Wilson. Cedric Wilson making good blocks.
Just a case of Heinz Ward. He wasn't even looking for it.
Well, he's not looking for it.
He was looking for a block.
And he's running too fast, too, to make that exchange.
Heinz was looking to hit somebody. Kevin Falk again is in the backfield, not Dillon. Coming off the fumble, Falk remains in the game. Brady zips it left side, and Joey Porter mans that side of the field. Bethel Johnson with his first catch of the season. Gain of only 2. Coming up on the Sprint halftime report, Greg and Dan and Shannon and Boomer, all the latest scores and highlights, plus a recap of the early games. The Jags in overtime with a thriller. The Eagles win at the wire over Oakland. Miami wins for a second time, surprising Carolina a week after the Panthers beat the Patriots. Back to Falk. He hurdles ahead. We're about 3. Nick Kazur is in the game now on that offensive line for New England. And Deshae Townsend with his helmet off. We've got another Patriot down. And that's how we lost the helmet, with David Gibbons. No more bad news for the Patriots as left tackle Matt Light is down. What happened on the play, Phil?
Well, he's the left tackle, Jim. Here he is on the outside, and watch his right leg. He's on the block, and it looks like Dan Copen falls into his right leg, and immediately you see him grab it, so that's not good news. When you see that reaction from a player, they know right away.
And there's Copen lending support. So the Patriots already lost Rodney Harrison in this game to injury. We'll be right back. For the second time in this game, the Patriots see a player carted to the locker room. This time it's Matt Light, their starting left tackle. So a rookie now moves over to that left side, Nick Kazur, who was drafted in the 3rd round out of Toledo. And Brady, in 3rd and 5, directs from the shotgun with his patchwork line. And here they come right past the rookie, and Brady never had a chance. Joey Porter ran right around that left tackle.
Well, when you're wounded, you know, the animal's wounded, whatever you want to say, you attack it. And the offensive line is shuffled around, and the Steelers, Dick LeBeau says, what an opportunity, let's blitz. And they're confused, hard to pick up the blitz, and they get right to Tom Brady.
Well, in fairness to Kazur, there was James Farrier rushing in from the inside. Porter from the outside. They force The punt. And Miller. And especially long kick, and a fair catch is made by Randall L. Actually, it's 45 yards, so very sufficient indeed. But a flag back by Miller. Will make him re-kick it.
Ineligible on the kicking team downfield. 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
You can visit CBS Sportsline tonight for a complete wrap-up of all of the day's action with video highlights, in-depth analysis, plus an exclusive post-game show and more. It's all at CBSSportsline.com. This, you mentioned special teams earlier. When you have all the injuries that the Patriots have, you start putting different parts into the equation. And special teams, they got burned with a big run back last week by Chris Gamble. 75 yards and set up a touchdown. Miller had a punt blocked by the Raiders in the opener that ended up leading to a touchdown. And this man is dangerous. Randall L., who'd like to atone for that fumble. That ill-conceived lateral on a big play. Miller's trying to set up a return. Up the 40. One shake, and then down after a 6-yard return. That's all. 49-yard flyer by Miller. Good one. Larry Izzo on the hit. 10-7 Steelers.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sharp Aquos. There's more to see. Hummer. Check out the new H3. Hummer, like nothing else. And by LendingTree.com. When banks compete, you win.
CBS proud to be teaming up with MetLife with the aerial coverage of today's game. The fixed wing aircraft is being used today, so Blimp Snoopy 1 and Snoopy 2 can remain in warmer weather. MetLife teaming up with CBS Sports all season long. As you saw at the PNC Park, where the Rolling Stones will be performing next door on Wednesday night. And Willie Parker gets a little burst for the first time, and boy, they've seen a whole lot of that the first 2 weeks of the season, Phil.
Well, he's had a great start, Jim, to the season. 161 yards week 1 against Tennessee, and then last week 111 yards, averaging well over 5 yards a rush. And as Willie Parker talked to us, he says, I know I'm fast, and that's what a lot of people talk about. But he reminded us, I am tough enough and strong enough to run inside the tackles, and that was a good job that time.
Going to try to run outside, but, well, look at him. Oh, they whistled him down as he was wrapped up initially by Richard Seymour. He's only had that one break so far, the 10-yard run.
Well, Willie Parker so far today, before that last run where he picked up about 10 yards, the going has been tough. Nothing to his right. Look at the New England defense. They crept up there. They want to see, hey, we're not going to let Willie Parker get a chance, and they want to keep him inside. As Rodney Harrison said, set the edge, make him run in between the tackles so we can hit him.
On 2nd down and 12. Roethlisberger shakes free. Still being chased down by Jarvis Green, who had him for a sack, but then stays on his feet to tackle him at the 40.
That was some job by Roethlisberger. I think he had a chance to throw the football down the field, but he didn't like it. It wasn't wide open. But, Jim, I talked about this last year. What's his greatest quality as a quarterback? Physically, there's no question it's his size. He just plays big, he's strong, and he pulls away from a lot of arm tackles and just takes sacks and makes them into 5- and 6-yard gains.
Heinz and Ward flank the quarterback out of the shotgun on 3rd down and 4. Across the middle, and he is picked off. Interception, Eugene Wilson.
Indecision. by the quarterback and the receiver, and it resulted in an interception. They blitzed. He was looking for the receiver to look for the hot route or look for it quick. Look at Randall L. Goes inside. Oh, and he stops. And Ben Roethlisberger leads him forward, and that causes the interception.
We've had 3 turnovers in less than 3 minutes, 2 of them by the Steelers. Referee Bill Carollo is reviewing that interception as it was ruled on the field, the pick by Eugene Wilson, as the Steelers are challenging.
Oh, that's a good shot. It's amazing. We've looked at it 10 times. That one definitely showed it hit the ground.
Watch them.
Yeah, they're all looking. And look at Bill Cowher's reaction.
Okay, guys. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, he's in a good mood because he knows it's an incompletion.
He didn't even have to throw the red flag.
No, he finally let it go.
Just kind of teased he was going to toss it.
I'm not sure whose fault it was, if it was Randall L's or Ben Roethlisberger's, but by the reaction of the coaches when he came to the sideline, it makes me believe it might have been the quarterback.
If it stands, it'll be for Wilson his second takeaway of the game. He recovered the lateral and fumble of Randall L. earlier in this quarter. Remember the situation. It was 3rd down, so if it is overturned, it'll be 4th and 4 for New England, for Pittsburgh. You think he knows? He knows the truth.
Oh, sure he does. Did a good job of acting. Never looked surprised. Jumped right up, kind of gave it to the official, and it got off the field like it was a clean interception. Because it did look like it to the eye when you saw it live.
Well, he curled his body all around it to try to deceive everybody.
After reviewing the play, it's been determined the pass hit the ground before the interception. Therefore, it was an incomplete pass. It'll be 4th down and 4 yards to go at the 39-yard line. Pittsburgh is not charged with a timeout.
There's one more look, and they brought the offense out on the field for 4th and 4. Trying to draw them off sides, you would think. So that was pretty clear. That bounced in there. 4th and 4, and Roethlisberger's back on the field without an interception thrown on the season.
Yeah, you know, Jim, as I watch this right here, 4th and 4, maybe they will try to draw them off sides. If they go for it, I'll just say this. I'm not crazy about the decision, because if you miss it, good field position for New England, and it kind of takes the crowd out of it too. You got a chance to punt them back inside, get everybody all fired up, and limit the play calls by the New England offense.
Seems to be some confusion as to the original line of scrimmage. There it is, just at the 40. Well, maybe the psychology here is we'd already resigned ourselves. Are they going to go back and review the spot? The officials called another timeout, an official's timeout. We actually have it on our end that the ball should be placed at the 39, a yard closer to the end zone. In the long-range field goal, truly not even an option for whatever reason here at Heinz Field. There's never been a field goal in its 5 years longer than 48 yards. Won by Jeff Reed and also matched by Adam Vinatieri.
There's Eric Mangini, the defensive coordinator for the New England Patriots. But Jim, here, the stadium, you're on the river, the wind, which is always a factor, and the field conditions. For some reason, a lot of times you come here to Pittsburgh, the field can be a little bit slippery.
The ball is correct. It should be at the 39.5-yard line. 4th down.
Well, I will say this. Over the years, Bill Cowher's offenses, they've been very creative in 3rd and 4th down situations when it's 5 yards and less. The number of passes, and also they put in a lot of plays for the quarterback where he can run the football.
4th and 4. And a little pooch punt by the quarterback. Almost chase down, but it's a touchback. Just inches away from clearing it. Randall L. with a diving attempt. Swatted it back right on the line. The nose of the ball. Well, his foot was on the line.
On it.
Yeah.
Got the crowd excited, though. Good call by Bill Cowher.
Coming out to the 20.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Cadillac. Introducing the new 2006 DTS. Cadillac. Breakthrough. And by IBM. Become an on-demand business. IBM can help.
Ben Roethlisberger with his first career punt. It traveled 39 yards. He was aiming for one short of that. So instead, New England will bring it out to the 20.
And he was a lefty. Kicked it left-footed.
Yeah, well.
Got a game planning. Rushes left side.
And they've got the rookie Kazir over on that left side as Dillon's back in. And he is knocked down for no gain. Let's go back down to Bonnie.
Jim, some injury updates for New England. Left tackle Matt Light questionable with a right leg injury, but Rodney Harrison, the Patriots' all-important safety, out with a right leg injury. And it reminds me, guys, of something Bill Belichick told us last night. He said, we go into our staff meetings with all the injuries, when we try to figure out who's going to play, the answer is whoever's healthy.
And it was on this field, Bonnie, thank you, where Ty Law was lost for the rest of the season a year ago. Brady fires. His receiver, Gibbons, had fallen down. Next Saturday, college football on CBS. The Florida Gators will be in Alabama to take on the Crimson Tide. And it all starts in the studio with Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman, and special guest Archie Manning. Next Saturday at 3 Eastern on the TIAA Prep. College football today. Kevin Falk back in, Troy Brown.
Let's don't forget, the New England offensive line has been shuffled around. Tom Brady's got to know that and knows that he has to throw the football in rhythm.
Troy Brown with the catch and the loss of a yard. Ricardo Copley put the clamps on him, and New England forced to punt.
Well, they're going to take advantage of obvious passing situations. Here come the blitzers from the outside, and if you're a blitzing football team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they are, of course, you've got to be a very good open field tackler, because if you miss, there's no second line of defense at that time. Excellent job tackling in the open field.
Second straight series for New England, 3 and out. Miller. End over end short this time. Randall L. tests that left side. Tries to reverse, but he is thrown down. Banna Kane on the coverage, along with Bethel Johnson. 40-yard punt, 12-yard return. And Big Ben had a perfect quarterback rating in the first game of the season. Only threw 11 passes, but completed 9 of them. A couple of touchdowns. And he's never lost a regular season start.
Look, he's on a good football team, no question about it. But he has more than held his end up by his play. A young quarterback, what he did last year, I said it many times, it's truly almost incredible how he withstood the pressure. He hung in there. He admits at the end of the season, mentally and physically, he goes, man, I didn't hit the wall. I was all over it.
Looking pass all the way and has the hookup with Heinz Ward. You know, we're talking about him being on a good team and all, and never losing a start in the regular season. But one of the most telling things about that phenomenal rookie season, he had the highest quarterback rating for any rookie in history, topping Dan Marino's records. But even better than that, maybe, is he was #1 in the NFL fourth quarter quarterback rating. Pressure's on. He had the best quarterback performance by rating in the league.
You know, just to be a rookie and to do those things, Jim, I told you when I was a rookie.
Willie Parker has the first down.
When I was just talking about, you know, and he laughed. He goes, oh my gosh, was I tired and all that at the end of the year. And I said, you know, it was incredible, because I was just telling you guys, and you kind of laughed at me. When my rookie season, I think I started 11 games. By the time we got to the last 3, I could not care if we won or lost. I just wanted to go home. It's a lot. The emotions. It's like Ben Roethlisberger says, meetings. Just trying to endure them to stay awake, which he says is hard to do when you're a rookie too.
Play action fake. And Richard Seymour with the big play and a flag made up at a face mask.
Well, Bill Carolla was there and did not throw it.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, 93. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, what a turnaround that is. Seymour had him, but instead it's going the other way. Big step off.
Good coverage down the field. The play action fake. They're looking for the big throw. Nobody is there. Oh, yes, he did get the face mask. Nice job. Just that little bit of foot movement in the pocket was enough to throw Richard Seymour off, and he had to reach out and grab what he could.
5-yard step off in all because it was unintentional there on Seymour. But you're talking about being a rookie last year for Roethlisberger. He said, I remember you guys coming in a number of times last year and asking, have you hit that rookie wall? And I said, no, I haven't. But I got to tell you, now that I think back, I was all over that wall. Going with Willie Parker. Parker banging straight ahead for 10.
Well, when you worry about the speed of Willie Parker and you worry about him getting outside, and we heard that, and that's what everybody talks about, what he brings to this offense. What happens when he runs right up the middle? And this time, oh, that is some terrific blocking up inside. Kendall Simmons, who they got back, who was injured last year. What a pickup, and Jeff Hardy's at center. They move it out and give Willie Parker the hole.
Another first down for the Steelers.
This is a really good offensive line the Pittsburgh Steelers have.
They'll run behind that left side. We're only 3. That whole left side went to Hawaii last year. On the line for the Steelers, talking about Marvell Smith, Faneca, Harding's the center.
For as well as they run the football, the number of times everybody that plays the Steelers go, well, we know they're going to run it. Well, I know a lot of things. A lot of teams used to know that Dan Marino was going to throw it. So what? You still couldn't stop it. And it's an attitude. It's part of the franchise. It's the makeup of this city. If you coach the Steelers, you better be coaching. Let's run the football.
2nd down and 7. They're coming in. Roethlisberger pass batted down. Monty Beisel had a hand on it. They were blitzing in on Roethlisberger. Tuesday, the Amazing Race. You can see why this world-class show has won the Emmy 3 years in a row. And get into it from the very beginning with the season premiere of Amazing Race Family Edition. Tuesday at 9/8 Central here on America's #1 network, CBS. 2:42 to go in the half. And the Steelers lead 10-7. They've had some other chances. They've got 3rd down and 7 from the New England 29.
This is where New England dominated them last year in these situations.
And they get to him. Roethlisberger got it away and almost completed it over there to Heinz Ward. Roethlisberger shaken up. Don Davis came in on the quarterback. What's your first thought there, Phil?
I'm not even going to guess, Jim. There's too many things that could have happened, and well, what a job! Defenders, as big as they are, they have such a tough time dragging him down. You know what? You always hope for the best. Maybe he got the breath knocked out of him. So I'm not sure and don't want to speculate. Really handled himself so well today. See if we can see the blitz. Here they come.
Here's Don Davis.
Davis up the middle. Untouched. And as he falls. Can't guess.
Kind of also bumped into one of his own players. This is one tough young kid. I remember the game down at Dallas last year. where a couple of times you thought he might not return in the game, and all he did was lead him to a fourth quarter comeback.
Well, he gets hit by his own man underneath the right arm, falls on him, his right hand, I just don't know. But
it's Veron Heinz who he ran into. So they're going to bring out Jeff Reed for a 47-yard field goal try. Flags are down and they're whistling before the snap.
False start, 72, offense. 5-yard penalty, replay, fourth down.
Well, if he just kicks the next one like that one, he'll have the new record at Heinz Field. This would be the first 50-yarder ever made.
Well, I wish there was a statistics that said how many do they make after they make it and there's a penalty, because it seems like it usually changes.
Six members of the training staff surrounding Roethlisberger as Reed gets ready to reload the right leg. 52-yard try for the man who set the Steeler record last week for most consecutive field goals made, breaking Gary Anderson's record. Not this time.
A lot of little mistakes in this game so far by both teams.
The other thing is, when you try it from out there, again, you give the ball back over at the point of the attempt. So New England will come out past the 40.
Yeah, Bill Cowher, he knows he's not even thinking about the miss. He's thinking about the penalty that took points off the board for this Pittsburgh football team.
Patriots failing to pick up a first down on their last two series from the 42. With Corey Dillon, Casey Hampton, and ever since Matt Light went out, every play has been either no gain or a loss of a yard.
Well, what they got to do, they just, first off, okay, do we have the assignments down? They've been on the sideline quite a bit, this New England offense, so you got to figure it out. And then you have to determine what can we run and be successful with. This is called one of those adjustments that you got to make during the game.
2-minute warning at Heinz Field with the Steelers leading it 10-7. You're watching the NFL on CBS. We're back in Pittsburgh. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms, Bonnie Bernstein. The word from the Steelers bench now. Left shoulder injury for Roethlisberger. Questionable whether he'll return.
Well, he was looking at all the plays, the defensive formations, and studying them with Mark Whipple, the quarterback's coach. So that tells me I think he's coming back in. But, Jim, I look at this game. The story is I think the Patriots offensive line, can they regroup? Can they get organized enough and give their team enough chances to make some plays against a really good defense in the Pittsburgh Steelers?
As Roethlisberger warms up on the sideline. 2 minutes to go in the half. 2nd down and 10, and Brady directs from the shotgun. It's Falk. With Higgins there to meet him, along with Ferrier. A gain of 7, 3rd down and 3.
Well, Bill Belichick said Nick Kajor, number 77, now playing left tackle. He says, I think he can be a tackle in this league, and played some at right tackle in the first couple games.
Evan Falk, busy work here in the first half. That snag for 7 and a first down. They have all the timeouts. And Patriots now operating at the 44. Pump fake, now fires. Gibbons. Almost one-handed by Ike Taylor, who had a highlight interception here last year against Brady when he skied in the air for a most impressive interception. And this may have, had he pulled it off, even been more highlight material.
Jim, what he did, boy, that is a tough play, but he waited and waited. He did not panic, and because of that, it allowed him to get up in the air and almost make the interception.
2nd down and 10. And the short gain to Givens. Trying to get outside to the sideline, and he does with 1:06.
Pass protection is looking pretty good in this little mini drive so far by this Patriots offensive line.
It's 3rd down and 6. So Givens did not step out. They rule, and Brady with all kinds of time. What a catch. Behind Branch, but able to put the mitts on it and pick up the 1st down. Down at the 26-yard line. Coming up, we've got the Sprint halftime report with Greg and Dan and Shannon and Boomer with all the scores and highlights. Coming up in just a few minutes. Did you get your Marinos in the mail, your new breakfast cereal?
Yeah, just what I want to do. Support Dan Marino a little more. Yep. Now, it looks pretty good.
Pretty good catch by Deion Branch.
Very good catch. Really good patience by Tom Brady. Allowed him to get a little extra time and get over the middle, and he was wide open.
1st down after the Patriot timeout. It's over to Falk. The blockers in front. And Falk at the 10, 5, and they're going to rule him short of the end zone.
Boy, I tell you, that's the 2nd time today the Patriots have thrown a screen, and they both have been well-timed. Versus the blitz, there's really nothing the Steelers can do. Troy Polamalu tries to come up and make a tackle. Fake it to the right. Only one guy can make the play, and good blocking out front. David Givens doing a good job, too.
They rule that Falk stepped out at the 3, and that's the longest play of the day for the Patriots, 23 yards. With 41 seconds to go in the half, 1st and goal. Boy, were the Steelers ready to break on that one.
False start, 70. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
1st and goal from the 8. If you remember, one of the real watershed statistics, if you will, of the Patriots last year is how they performed in the last 2 minutes of the 1st half. They led the entire league in scoring in the last 2 minutes of the 1st half. They have not done that at all so far this season. In fact, last week when they failed to score in the entire 2nd quarter against Carolina, it was the first time that had happened in 25 games without scoring in this quarter.
The system and the quarterback makes it happen.
1st and goal, ball in the air, and intercepted. Another red zone takeaway by the Steelers. Chris Hope plucks it out of the air as Kimo von Oelhoffen got a hand on it.
Well, it was a tip pass, but what caused the interception is the penalty the play before. It changes your thought process. It changes the defense. It changes what you call. Instead of running the ball into the end zone, now they have to throw it. Pressure by Tom Brady. Kimo von Oelhoffen, nice job. If you can't get to the passer, raise your hand up and try to deflect the pass. He's going nowhere. The rookie, Kajor, has him at the line of scrimmage.
And Hope with the pick. The Steelers, for the 2nd time in this game, with a takeaway in the red zone. And guess who's back on the field? Number 7 for Pittsburgh, Ben Roethlisberger.
That's the worst feeling in the world as a quarterback. You make good decisions. You do so many things well. You throw it, it's tipped. And, you know, Jim, when it's tipped in the air, you just know it's going to be intercepted.
Yes.
Team having 2 timeouts left. 2 timeouts left for each team.
I remember talking to Brett Favre once, and all quarterbacks have the same thought when they see it tipped in the air. Drop it! You hope for that merit, but it doesn't happen often.
Just waiting for it, what you know is going to happen. So they'll kneel down and head to the locker room with the 10-7 lead. Brady and the Patriots scored the first time they had it today. Corey Dillon from 4 yards out. But then a couple of demoralizing moments for the champions when they lost Rodney Harrison to injury. And later, Matt Light also carted off the field. So we've reached halftime in Pittsburgh. And let's go back down to Bonnie.
Bill Cowher, I'm sure you'd be more than happy to talk to me about the importance of your defense creating turnovers when the Patriots were deep in their own territory.
Well, that's the only way we get off the field. I mean, you know, Tom Brady's a phenomenal player. And, you know, we're not really stopping him, but we're coming up with some big plays at opportune times. And we said going in, the winner of the turnover takeaway has been the winner of this game. So we still got 30 minutes to go. This is a good team.
Thanks.
Pittsburgh 10, New England 7. And we'll be back with the Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. Sprint, together with Nextel. Yes, you can.
We are back in the Steel City with Pittsburgh leading at halftime 10-7. An electric start here as the Patriots scored on their first possession, only to be matched seconds later on a long hookup to Heinz Ward that covered 85 yards. What a second half we should have straight ahead as the NFL on CBS continues after this word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. And they'll run it with Dillon. Dillon springs free. Touchdown, New England. Gonna take it all the way. 85 yards for a Pittsburgh touchdown. 10-7 is the score as we're about to embark on the second half. Jim Nantz with Phil Simms and Bonnie Bernstein. And I think each team is sitting there saying, now, wait a minute, we had our chances. If you're Pittsburgh, we had the Antoine Randall L play that really backfired on them, and they had the 2 red zone turnovers on the other end for New England.
Yeah, there's been a lot that happened in this first half. If you're the New England Patriots, you got to overcome adversity, the injuries. So you try to fight through that. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, I thought Bill Cowher, when he talked to Bonnie Bernstein at the end of the first half, I could see some real disappointment that physically they let the Patriots kind of push them around. And then he was really disappointed how Tom Brady marched them down the field.
Patriots had the time of possession category, and remember, though, they had it one time for 7.5 minutes, 15 plays, only to turn it over, cough it up with foot recovering. Again, we're bringing you this game in high definition, as all of our games will be this season.
That's what we deserve, Jim. High definition.
You're a high definition kind of a guy.
Yeah, I want to see every flaw in my body. That's good. Magnify it.
Ellis Hobbs, Bethel Johnson await the kick from Reed as New England gets first crack at it in the third quarter. And not a particularly long boot. It's Hobbs at the 11. And in traffic, spinning around, a nifty run back indeed. There were all kinds of miscues in that first half on each side, really, Phil. The fall hit by Higgins, recovered by Foot. Randall L breaking a big play and then trying to make it bigger, only to backfire. You are talking about this one.
Well, the missed field goal after you've made it, so that's just bad. And the New England Patriots, they got to feel like they just gave away 14 points.
And the Hope interception in the last minute of the first half near the goal line. Reed Dillon gets the call on the first snap of the second half for 4 yards. And Bonnie Bernstein had a chance to visit with Belichick. What did he say?
Well, I tried to get a sense from him as to how the team loses without a left tackle in Matt Light and without a safety in Rodney Harrison. And you know what Belichick said. He said, look, guys get hurt all the time. We put other guys in. It's not like we have time to make a roster move. But disappointed in general, the turnovers in offense, not playing fierce enough on defense. Bill Belichick, not a happy man right now, Jim.
Imagine not. Second down and 6. Brady up top, and what a grab. That's David Givens for 18.
There's not enough, I don't know where to start. The protection, the blitz pickup. Tom Brady so relaxed, patient in the pocket, and oh, what a terrific throw and a really good catch. And, you know, I even wrote in my notes when I was coming down here to do this game, the Patriots, every time they get a chance to make a play, they make it with the catch. Last year in the championship game, they made a couple terrific catches, and that one was too.
Brady is swamped back at the 49 and a flag. James Harrison. And a hold on the Patriots, which will be declined.
Well, they're going to decline it. That's right. James Harrison, another linebacker. Jim's second year.
Holding, 77, offense. That penalty is declined. He's out of the play, second down.
On the outside, 92, going against the rookie, Nick Kazur. Has been playing right tackle, injuries, moving to left. A new guy, so he's got to get used to, you know, that's the one thing when you play against the Steelers. You got to get in the rhythm of blocking about 5 different players because they keep changing them up.
Second down, 18. Gibbons comes this way in motion. Brady looks his way now across the middle. He has Branch, who dives at the 35. Some of the notes and nuggets from the first half from the fantasy notebook. Brady hit 75%, 140 yards, and the pick right before the half. Only 10 attempts for Roethlisberger. Dillon with a touchdown on 12 carries, and Willie Parker 36 yards. Saw Heinz Ward with 2 catches, 94 yards, including a career-long 85-yarder for the Steelers touchdown. Third down, 4.
Tom Brady's changing the play and the protection.
And now he's going to have a word with Ben Watson. So they called timeout. We'll be right back to Pittsburgh. Bill on third down. That timeout was called from the sideline by Coach Belichick.
Bill Belichick right by the down marker. Going to walk into the screen here in a minute because he knows his offense is in trouble. There he comes. And he's looking at the play clock, and maybe Tom Brady lost sight of the play clock.
So third down, 3rd and 4. New England down a field goal. Pass wide of the mark, looking for Troy Brown, but Polamalu was rushing in after Brady.
I tell you, I don't know how they figure it out. There's so many people moving. Polamalu coming from the outside, almost gets to Tom Brady. Boy, that's Aaron Smith, a defensive lineman, dropping back in coverage. How can you account for that? That's why it's tough sometimes to throw against the Steeler defense.
Adam Vinatieri now will go for the Heinz Field record. He has a piece of it at 48 yards with Reed. This is 53 to tie the game. Will it hold its line? It hooks at the last moment wide. And again, that'll set up the Steelers at the 43 with their first possession of the second half.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 40. Chili's. Get more variety with Chili's new Triple Dipper Dinner. Come on, live a little. And by Nissan, who reminds you to shift the way you move through the world.
Heinz Field, the site, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Steelers leading the Patriots 10-7. And Tom Brady's driven his team to Pittsburgh territory 3 of the last 5 series and come away empty each time. And now the Steelers take over at the 43 with Willie Parker for 3 yards. Ben Roethlisberger's play today, Phil. How do you see it?
Well, I think it's been pretty good. He's pretty cool, can throw it down the field for the touchdown. Then the old Statue of Liberty play, which he did a good job of running. And hey, and he also punted one left-footed, which almost turned out to be a terrific play.
2nd down and 7. Will Parker get it going in this half? He gets another carry. And driving the pile. Boy, it looked like a no-gainer, but picked up 3.
You know, as I watched this game, and Jim, I just said it to you during the commercial, the Patriots, they overcome the injuries, all the circumstances. They change defense, but you think about what they are. The head coach, it's all about being mentally tough. Everybody in the team, he holds them all responsible. So when your turn comes and it's your time to go into the game, you get it done. It's not like, oh, well, you haven't had the reps and you couldn't do it in practice. That's not how they operate. They involve everybody every day in practice, and they get rewarded with it when players get hurt.
3rd down and 4. Trying the right side, and it hit Randall L. right in the hands. Maybe even up against the face mask. Dwayne Starks on the coverage.
Yeah, Dwayne Starks back in there. Good job. Tight pressure on the outside. Looked like Dwayne Starks got his hand in there and knocked it away from Randall L. They've done I think they've done a really good job, except for that one long pass. They have smothered these Pittsburgh wide receivers when they've had them in man coverage.
Well, you take away the one breaker for Heinz Ward, 85 yards, and Roethlisberger's completed only 3 other passes in the game. There's Gardocki. Roy Brown moving in on it with the fair catch. They'll bring out Brady and company and the Pittsburgh defense. 10-7 Steelers. MetLife presenting our aerial coverage of Heinz Field in the beautiful city here of Pittsburgh, the Steel City, the Three Rivers City. And some encouragement from the sideline to get this crowd stirred as the Steelers defense forced a couple of key turnovers, but they face Brady again from the 20. Over to Gibbons on a slant for 10 yards. So far this season, which team do you believe has made the most impressive defensive performance through three weeks of the season? Would you say the Bears? Probably not after today. The Colts, I would think they'd get a lot of support.
Oh, man, the
Jags,
Colts.
Chiefs, Bucks, Redskins. You can vote NFL.com. Unbelievable the way the Colts are winning these games. Peyton Manning today without a touchdown pass. Now 2 straight games without one. That's the first time for Peyton in 6 years. Corey Dillon. First down run for little yardage, maybe 2.
Well, because of the crowd noise, I actually saw this on TV last week. Tom Brady gives a little slap to his center. And I'm not sure if the center, I can't tell if he says something to the offensive lineman, and then there's a rhythm to it, and then they snap the football. They did it last week in Carolina, and I saw all the Carolina defensive players sitting on the bench and talking about it like they had discovered something great. But Tom Brady doing it here again today.
Again with 2 rookies on the left side of that line. Trying to protect Brady, who has, again, no chance. Higgins and Von Oelhoffen double up on Brady. We've talked a lot about Nick Kazir coming in for Matt Light. A rookie coming in, and Menken's a rookie also at left guard.
Yeah, Clark Higgins, he has just done a really good job today. It's about the 3rd time he has put pressure on Tom Brady, makes him step up and causes the sack. The Steelers wanted to be patient, which they have done. They have not given Tom Brady a chance to make the big passing plays down the field, which he did last year.
On 3rd and 15, ball's loose. Ball's loose, recovered Pittsburgh. Travis Kershke with the recovery.
They fake the screen, they go with the handoff, but the pressure from the Steelers defensive line makes the handoff to the running back, makes it tough, and that's what causes the fumble. Tom Brady fakes the screen, then he hands it inside.
That's the 2nd fumble of the day by Kevin Falk.
And Clark Hagans, wow.
Both times it was Hagans who knocked it loose.
Knocked it loose, just so fast. So aggressive, he's making the plays.
He has stripped him twice, recovered both times by the Steelers. Will they go for the quick strike? Roethlisberger. Ball batted away. Nice play there by Willie McGinnis.
Boy, the receivers cannot find any open space. Ben Roethlisberger looks to his left. Heinz Ward smothered. The tight end down the middle. Nobody open. Even when he scrambles, Roethlisberger gets out of the pocket. They are staying with the receivers. And I think Roethlisberger, when he breaks the pocket, has got to look to run the football every now and then.
You saw Heinz Ward guarded by Chad Scott. How many times do you think those two saw each other in practice all those years? His teammates in Pittsburgh. Second down and 10. Still on his feet. And that's Heath Miller with his second catch of his young career. The first round pick from Virginia had a touchdown grab in the season opener. And now this is the next catch of his career. Goes for 13.
Well, it's a blitz by the Patriots. They come after the quarterback. And Ben Roethlisberger does a good job seeing the tight end over the middle. He's big. And like you said, Jim, first round draft pick. And now the Steelers, along with Tooman, have two pretty capable guys who can go down the field and catch the football.
Tooman chips over right side. Willie Parker down to the 11 for 4. Parker's had a couple of 10-yard runs, but not able to run through that secondary like has been the case the first 2 weeks. What are your thoughts on your first chance to see him?
Well, I like the speed. You can see it immediately. And, you know, this is not the Houston Texans he's running against. But he's shown this. He has shown that he will run in there when there's no holes and hit the pile hard and try to pick up 2 or 3 valuable yards.
Second down and 6. Parker again spins away from the first hit and then runs into a wall of Patriots for a loss of a yard.
Well, there's Monty Beisel on the first hit getting into the backfield.
When they played last year for the AFC Championship game, Willie Parker was inactive for that game. But all week he practiced as Corey Dillon on the scout team against the Pittsburgh defense. He was Corey Dillon for a week. Now he's matched up against him. Now a third down play coming up with 4 receivers in the game. Hands it off. Heinz, LaRon Heinz, stretching it out, shy of the first by about a yard.
Big decision right here for Bill Cowher.
4th and 1. One reason why maybe he considered going for it, but he's not. He's going to bring out the field goal kicker. I'm not sure with all that transformation on the New England offensive line if he believes his defense can really get beaten up too badly in this game.
Think back to last year. What happened in a similar 4th down situation? He went for it, they fumbled, and all of a sudden New England scored like that, and everything turned around. That's right.
Jerome Bettis got the handle on 4th and 1 from the 40. Then it was Deion Branch for 60. So Reed hits it from 24, and the Steelers increase their lead to 6.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Wrangler, makers of Wrangler Jeans Company, a new generation of Wrangler, and by Bud Light, smooth and refreshing. Bud Light, great taste for your great times.
Well, the way this game started, you thought it might be a real shootout. It was 41-27 back in January in the AFC Championship game. 68 points. New England, of course, advancing on to its 3rd Super Bowl title in 4 years. But 13-7, Pittsburgh with 6 minutes to go in the 3rd. After a couple of quick touchdowns to get the game underway, Bethel Johnson will try to run this one out across the 20. Steps ahead to the 26. Ike Taylor very active on those special teams. Heath Miller with the catch helped set up the field goal by Reed. The lead by 6. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter in Pittsburgh, and the Patriots take over at the 26. Running with Corey Dillon. Blocker up front. And nice piece of running indeed behind Logan Mankins and Patrick Pass. Tonight on 60 Minutes, a chilling account from an American hostage who lived through 10 months of torture and captivity in Iraq. Plus, Ed Bradley interviews Derek Jeter. It's coming up tonight on 60 Minutes. As you check through the CBS stat tracks, Corey Dillon averaging 2.7 yards per carry through the first 2 weeks. Today, just a little ahead of 3 yards a pop. Dillon with flags. And a hold, it appears, going against the Patriots.
Well, they get back to what they originally started with. Some power running by Corey Dillon. Because he broke outside, I think Deion Branch might have got called for the hold.
Holding, 83, offense, 10-yard penalty, replay the down.
Of course, Corey Dillon has been spending his whole career seeing the Steelers twice a season. All those years when the Bengals were in the same division. 1,635 yards last year, a Patriot record, a personal record by 200 on the nose.
Well, it was a perfect fit. And the New England Patriots, their overall plan is so well thought out. So they got him. They became a power running team. And Corey Dillon was the man. And, you know, Jim, we talked to him about winning the Super Bowl. What did he say? Man, I got a lot of free stuff.
That's right.
There's a lot of stuff that comes. Not only the ring, a lot of people like to give you things, too.
They went home to California and everything was free. Didn't pay for any greens fees. Brady on a rope. That's Branch.
What a throw. Just, you can tell. They knew, Tom Brady knew exactly where to throw it, inside and low. And why does he throw it low? Deion Branch to the outside. He throws it low because he wants to protect his receiver. Otherwise, Chris Hope's going to come over and knock him out.
22 yards. That's the second longest play of the day for New England, only topped by the screen pass to Falk. It was a yard longer. Dillon and Pass in the backfield on first down. Looking for his tight end, and Daniel Graham can't quite grab it, and on the tip, incomplete. Chris Hope trying to snag his second deflection of the day.
Well, this just happened so fast. Daniel Graham gets down the field. Tom Brady tries to get rid of it quick. It's a little bit behind, and like you said, Jim, almost intercepted. Boy, they had the Steelers crowding the line of scrimmage. That was the time to throw it down the field. The play call was proper. They just couldn't execute it.
2nd and 10. From their own 48, just barely beat the play clock. Dillon outside for 3. And we remind you of the lineup Monday night on CBS. If you missed last week's night of premieres, you don't want to miss tomorrow's all-new lineup. Starting with the King of Queens, How I Met Your Mother, 2.5 Men, and Out of Practice. Of course, don't miss CSI Miami and David Letterman tomorrow on America's most watched network. Third down, in the crowd rising to their feet, bringing out the terrible towels. Brady, all kinds of time, looks down the left side and in the area of David Givens. Great coverage down the field by the Steelers.
Tom Brady is really upset because he had David Givens one-on-one. I didn't see what happened to the throw, but it looks like it could be, he could be open. Look at that. Here they come on the blitz. It takes him a long time. And I don't know, the ball might have slipped out of his hand. I'm not sure.
Josh Miller comes in, will try to pin the Steelers. High spiral. They land inside the 1 and back up. And Don Davis fields it at the 5. 43 yards. Steelers backed up at the 5. Well, the research is in, the ratings are in, and Criminal Minds is the #1 new show of the season. Wednesdays on CBS, and catch it right here at 9, 8 Central on America's #1 network. That boot by Miller, similar to what we saw in the opener against Oakland. He did that twice in the 3rd quarter against the Raiders, where the nose of the football just hit at the proper angle near the goal line and backed up, and in this case smartly fielded by Don Davis at the 5.
You're New England, you got them backed up. This is where you need to come through and give a short field to your offense.
And a run between the tackles with Parker for a couple. Willie Parker, with all that speed, you did ask him what he considered to be the strength of his running, and he said, you know, a lot of people think I can't do it, but since you asked, I would say it would be between the tackles, not going outside, which is what you would think. He's had a couple of 10-yard dashes between the tackles today, but for the most part, the Patriots have contained him to this point. 2nd and 8, back to him. There he goes, churning those legs, and it'll be a 3rd and about 2 coming up.
Well, those are 2 good runs by the Steelers offense, because it makes it 3rd and short, and when you're backed up, it's natural instincts. It's hard to execute plays because you're worried about mistakes. You're a little more cautious, and as a quarterback, it's even hard sometimes to find the wide open receiver, because it's hard to pull the trigger, because again, you don't want to turn it over here so close to your own goal line.
Roethlisberger with the big screen in the background, looking down the field from the shotgun on 3rd and short. And that's a play that's worked so successfully in the last year with Heinz, but not this time.
They were playing run all the way. They were going to dare him to throw the football, and not only were they up there for Heinz, but they're up there for Ben Roethlisberger too, to make sure he didn't run it for the 1st down, because last year in the AFC Championship game, he ran it about 3 or 4 times in similar situations.
Tim Dwight, dangerous returner. Here he is. He had to like that pickup in the offseason for the Patriots.
A tremendous role player. Can play some receiver. He's tough and can do this for you awfully well.
Bagaki from near the goal line. No pressure.
Got a chance.
Dwight shakes off Coakley. And here he goes. Tim Dwight with Gardocki out there on the angle. Bumps him out at the 30.
Dwight on the return.
Everything worked for the Patriots that time. 3 and out by the Steelers offense. They got it done. And then Tim Dwight, you talk about him, Jim, what he does so well, he's aggressive. He catches it and he's not dancing. Look, he takes it up the field. He avoids the gunner down the field. Now he's looking, he turns it right up in there. And for a small guy, he's tough, and he'll take it in there and get some tough yards.
He had 28 tough yards in this case. Look at him shake off Coakley. And then he finds the seam. A net of only 15 yards after a 43-yard boot. The run back sets up Brady and company at the 30. Fake the reverse, go up the middle, and Dillon knocked down right at the line.
Well, the idea is to fake the reverse, and you know why that is. It's because they ran 2 of them in their previous game with tremendous success. So you're hoping you fake it, it'll work. First possession, a touchdown. Look at the last 8 possessions. 4 punts, 3 turnovers, and a missed field goal.
And the last 3 times they've been in Pittsburgh territory, they have failed to deliver anything. Final 30 seconds of the 3rd quarter. Brady to the end zone, looking down, and Polamalu almost pulled it off. David Givens was the Touchdown target. Ike Taylor on the coverage, and Polamalu comes over, almost makes the interception.
Polamalu, look at him way deep. He doesn't bite. Tom Brady tried to look him off forever, but he doesn't take the bait, and he goes over and would have made the interception, except he ran into his old man, Ike Taylor. Polamalu has been patient today and not too aggressive, so he hasn't given Tom Brady those chances down the field.
His coach, Bill Cowher, says the most cerebral player I've ever been around. Brady goes back down the field with no one in the area. Polamalu again creating chaos.
He plays the safety position, but what makes him so different is the fact that he is so fast. Where does he come from this time? He waits. Oh, man, that was a really good job. He just faked the rookie out. Kajur just faked him out and delivers a tough shot to Tom Brady.
Brady knocked down and bounced so hard it brought him right back to his feet. 48-yard attempt this time for Vinatieri. And it's good. The good boot by Vinatieri brings it back to a field goal game at the end of 3. And not so fast, my friend, as I've heard on Saturdays. Still 14 seconds to go in the third quarter. And Vinatieri had plenty of leg on the 53-yard try that just hooked wide. This time he nailed it.
Let me just, I'm sorry, Jeff.
48 matching the longest.
When you look at this game, it has been a little sloppy. There's no question. Good football teams. It's physical. They hit hard. But also I think some of that sloppiness and the fact that nobody's getting those as many plays as they want, they know each other so well. They've played each other 3 times here in a short period, and it's like Bill Belichick says it. I feel like they're in our division. It's the Steelers again. Oh, okay, here we go. So I think the familiarity they have with each other has hurt some of the playmaking.
Vinatieri drives this one to a point where it cannot be returned by Coakley. Wednesday on CBS, be the first to see the new style, the new stories, the new faces of CSI New York. And the new season premieres this Wednesday at 10/9 Central here on CBS, America's #1 network.
And this Steeler offense, Bill Cowher wants to see it work smoother. Let's run it. I want my quarterback to find his second and third receivers. That has not happened today. You take away the two big plays they've had, and there is really nothing that you can talk about when you say, what have they done on offense?
Fake to Parker. Seymour almost had him wrapped up, and the pass wide of Parker coming out of the backfield with Vrabel right on his back.
Sometimes you need pass protection. The Steelers this time, watch Tuman, the tight end, go right down the middle. The play action fake fools him. Oh, I got it on the wrong side. He's coming down the other side. Nobody saw him. It was going to be a big pass play for the Steelers, but when protection breaks down, the quarterback can't see the open guys.
Roethlisberger has hit only one of his last 6. And now with 7 seconds to go in the quarter, looking pass again, and a tough grab made by Cedric Wilson. Dwayne Starks was battling for the ball, and now we're through 3. 13-10 Steelers. Back after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. We start the fourth quarter, and when these two met January the 23rd, there was no doubt that they were the 2 best teams in the AFC, with Pittsburgh 15-1 in the regular season, the #1 seed, only to see the Patriots spoil their plans en route to the Super Bowl title. 13-10 Steelers with a first down to open the final quarter. With a big play action fake, and Roethlisberger on the run again. Almost intercepted. Threw it right toward the hands of Richard Seymour.
Being spontaneous and making these plays, it's amazing how much harder they are against the good football teams. Because for a lot of reasons. One, they're smarter, they're in better position, they got better players who react to you faster. And that time, Roethlisberger, wow, it changes the game. You could have lost the game if Richard Seymour probably was just so surprised.
Yeah, he doesn't get that many.
I mean, I don't know what to say.
Good looks.
He couldn't handle it.
He doesn't see looks like that in the pregame warm-ups. He wanted that after that face mask call earlier. Here comes the reverse with Wilson stepping around looking for anything. And a hard-working no gain. Next Sunday, let's set the lineup for you. It's a regional weekend on CBS with many of you early seeing the West Division champion San Diego Chargers of a year ago against New England. Chargers and the Patriots to many of you, plus other regional action. It all begins with Greg and Dan and Shannon and Boomer. 12 noon Eastern time next Sunday, the NFL Today on CBS. Like 25-yard rush by Cedric Wilson for no gain. And whistles, flags.
False start, 73, offense. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Yeah, every time now Roethlisberger tries to throw, he has to, seems like, shake off a hard rushing Patriot defender.
Well, that's Jim, that they can't get away from the Patriots defenders, the wide receivers running down the field, and the Patriots defense. Boy, after that one long play they gave up to Heinz Ward to start the game, they are everywhere.
Third and long. And let's see how Big Ben handles it. Waits now, fires and overthrows. Although Starks had good coverage on Cedric Wilson. Roethlisberger's going to need a vacation after this.
It's like playing golf. You could relate to this. Once you hit 6 or 7 bad shots in a row, it's just hard to make a good swing after that.
You know I can relate to that.
Yeah, but that's what happens on offense. You lose your confidence. And the coaches, they lose confidence too. They're over there going, well, what can we call that's going to work? So it doubles your misery.
And Gardocki gets off a good one this time, and a flag and a fumble. Dwight, though, able to pick it up and then walloped back at the 23. I mentioned Roethlisberger might want a little break. They do have the bye week coming up. And you know how he plans on handling it? He's going back to Findlay, Ohio, his hometown, to be a chauffeur for his kid's sister at the homecoming dance.
Well, the kick was in the air, holding, 30, receiving team, 10-yard penalty. Receivers will keep the ball, first down, timeout.
Roethlisberger and the Steelers lead a minute into the final quarter. Jim Nantz with Phil Simms, Bonnie Bernstein, and the Patriots trying to avoid a 2-game losing streak. We're down 3 here in the fourth quarter. It's been a tight one throughout. Bodies flying as the pass caught by Gibbons.
Tom Brady knew it was a blitz. He got back as fast as he can. Doesn't like the grip on the... Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that's Corey Dillon on foot. On Larry Foote.
Larry Foote taking a chance going airborne. What a throw by Tom Brady.
That's the thing the running backs do that never show up anywhere. And Corey Dillon, pretty good at looking after his quarterback.
Well, he said 2 things. It's tough when you run, then you got to get used to picking up all the blitzers when you play this team.
Chase and scooped up by Deion Branch.
Brady's pass to pick the Branch.
Gain of 8. And Aaron Smith was trying to get to Brady.
Tom Brady doesn't leave the pocket a lot. He usually just shuffles around in it. But look at the throw, and what a catch on the outside. Just picking it right off the top of the ground.
6 catches on the game now for Deion Branch, 78 yards. The single back is Patrick Pass, who has not had a carry nor a catch this season. Stays in the pocket this time and connects to Troy Brown for 19 and moving it into Pittsburgh territory. For those expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS, the game between the Patriots and the Steelers. Jim Nantz along with Phil Simms and Bonnie Bernstein. Pittsburgh leading it here 13-10. And we remind you that 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except on the West Coast. Quick pass over to Troy Brown and grabbed by the ankles by Coakley after 4 yards.
Well, so far today, Tom Brady hasn't gotten into the end zone. A lot has to do with the Pittsburgh linebackers. James Ferrier on the blitz gets the sack. James Harrison, a reserve linebacker, good pass rusher, gets to Brady. And then Clark Hagans, who has caused 2 fumbles, sacked Tom Brady, and has been everywhere. The defense designed for the linebackers to star, and they have done that today.
Dillon back in, gets the handoff for 3. Brady on this series starting to get a nice rhythm going. He's 4 for 4.
Well, this drive, Jim, just watching Tom Brady, the decisions and the throws. When we talked to Bill Cowher, and you heard him talk to Bonnie Bernstein at halftime, his admiration for Tom Brady, what he is, how he stays calm, and that's all the Steelers talked about. If you make a mistake on defense and leave your area, he knows it, he sees it, and he throws it to the open guy. And that's not exaggerating his talent. That's what he is, just superior to most guys in the NFL. He can find the open guy.
3rd and 2. They failed to convert on 3rd down until now in this half. And it's David Gibbons shaken away, and Hope bangs him out inside the 10. He escaped Ricardo Coakley and then takes off for 30.
We talked about it earlier. Blitz pickup, man, it's just, again, they're just doing a terrific job. Corey Dillon just destroys the inside blitzer, but if you're going to blitz, you can't miss the tackle. Coakley misses it, and David Gibbons takes it down inside the 10-yard line.
Gibbons, who had 2 touchdown catches in the October matchup here a year ago, now with 92 yards receiving. 1st and goal to go. Dillon dives, and Dillon is in for the touchdown. Corey Dillon's 2nd score of the day.
Well, was that some drive? That was everything that the New England Patriots are about. And you just go, well, they've done it for 3 of the last 4 years, just like this. Corey Dillon showing the ability to get outside, pass on the good block, staying with it, and the strong runner that he is, he gets past Troy Polamalu's arm tackle and gets in the end zone for the touchdown.
Running behind Stephen Neal and Patrick Pass. I mentioned it earlier. That's a play that also delivered a touchdown for them last January. All but identical. And both New England touchdowns today come from Corey Dillon. This one diving in, scoring from 7 yards out for the lead.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Fidelity Investments. Smart move. Universal Pictures Serenity in theaters Friday. And by Chrysler. Inspiration comes standard.
Well, that was some kind of drive by the Patriots, with Brady 5 for 5, covering 86 yards to take the lead. Coakley from the goal line with a flag, and maybe to the 20.
Patriots just go along. They're willing to fight longer than most teams. Injuries, bad breaks, stupid plays.
Illegal block in the back. 83. Return team. 10-yard penalty. Receivers will keep the ball. First down.
Yeah, but they'll have to start inside the 10. And reminder tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes, Cold Case and Sybil Shepherd in the world premiere movie event, Martha Behind Bars. But Ed Bradley with Derek Jeter on 60 Minutes coming up after football, except for those of you on the West Coast.
Look what's happened so far this half. The Steelers, the Patriots hanging in there. Steelers just doing nothing on the offensive side. But Jim, you know, I've done so many Patriot games and you think, well, okay, I've said it all, I've seen it all, but this is just another time you just, wow. This is a test of courage, toughness. It's Bill Parcells. He says, man, this is a bunch of hardened, tough guys that have been in so many battles. They just don't blink when the going gets really tough.
On the road with two rookies on the left side of your line, with Light going out with an injury, and without your vocal leader on defense, Rodney Harrison. And a sack all the way back at the 1 by Seymour. He's had that one really queued up all day. He had one earlier, but nullified by a face mask call. And
Richard Seymour kind of splits a double team. He's just so big and athletic and strong. One of the best defensive linemen in the NFL. And, you know, we haven't talked about it much today, but this Patriots defensive line, Ty Warren, Vince Wilfork, Richard Seymour, then you got Jarvis Green, Marquise Hill. Man, that's bringing some lumber to the party.
It's 2 sacks, actually. The first one, even with the face mask call, does count. So from the 2, that's Parker squirting ahead for a couple. As we move inside 10 minutes, Mike Vrabel with the tackle that time. 3rd and 16. And what a tough spot to be in.
It is a tough spot. It seems so long ago. We talked about the beginning of the game, but the Patriots all they thought about, let's get them into 3rd and 7 and plus yards. That's where we prosper. That's where they are not very good. And 0 for 6 today.
Blitz. Time running out. He gets it away to Heinz. And Heinz dodges a couple of tackles, stays on his feet, and gets the first down. What a huge effort by Verron Heinz. Got away from Samuel, got away from Vrabel. And they have another defender down. It's Gus Scott who's in the game because Harrison's out with an injury.
Nobody open. Roethlisberger takes a chance. Mike Vrabel is thinking interception, game over. And then Heinz just does a tremendous job of fighting off tacklers and getting the first down.
Well, it did look like for a moment that Vrabel might be able to make the pick and score for the 2nd straight week. As they attend to Gus Scott, we'll take a timeout. Gus Scott got up and walked off, but again, the Patriots thin in the secondary as they were all of last year, making more adjustments on the run here today in Pittsburgh. Chad Scott, former Steeler, really now positioned as a safety as Gus Scott sits on the bench. Again, they're after Roethlisberger and bury him back at the 11. Willie McGinnis, Jarvis Green.
Well, initially, Ben Roethlisberger had time to throw it. He wants to throw it to Tuman. Watch. He's going to do it. At the last second, he sees Monty Bizel run and get in the way of the throw. Has to pull it down, and that causes the sack.
A loss of 9 on that one. And Gus Scott set out one play. He's back in.
Well, I'll tell you what, this defensive line, they're pulling Big Ben down now like it's not that hard anymore. They've gotten used to it.
And Ward was open as Asani Samuel lost his footing. And that pass well over the head of Ward. Another 3rd and long coming up.
3rd and long. In this situation, you do just what you did last time. You call a safe play, and if you get really, really fortunate, it picks up the first down. Otherwise, you punt it, and you wait for your next possession to try to drive down and go ahead in the game.
They converted moments ago on 3rd and 16. And this one 3 yards longer. Patriots come screaming in after the quarterback. It would have been a free play, but Roethlisberger never a chance. It looked like Willie McGinnis jumped off sides.
Offside, defense, 55, 5-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
Surprise you to see how this defensive front is having its way with the offensive line of Pittsburgh?
Willie McGinnis just misses. Yeah, I am, Jim, because this offensive line of the Steelers is solid. It's powerful. They're athletic. They can match up man for man. So I am surprised. Ben Roethlisberger, it's another thing I say every week. Quarterbacks in the NFL do not change their snap counts up enough. There are a few that do it, but you've got to make them be hesitant on the defensive side.
3rd and 14, and Deuce Staley is back in. Roethlisberger fires a rope, and it was over the head of an open man, Wilson. And he knows he should have had that one.
Couple overthrows, the last two, both get away from Roethlisberger. I saw him wipe his hands clean after the miss to Heinz Ward, but this time it just gets away from him right down the middle. Yes, he did. You know what happened too? He leaned forward to try to protect the throw, and when a quarterback leans, the ball's going to go up a lot of times.
Ooh, Gardocki barely got that one away. Dwight from the 25, and a flag will back up New England somewhere in the area to the 20. Gardocki, in over 1,000 career punts, has never had one blocked. With that one, he got away by just a whisker. Matt Chatham was in on him. And that was scary close for the Steeler fans.
Illegal block in the back, 48 on the return. 10-yard penalty. Receivers will keep the ball. First down, timeout.
Question now with a patchwork offensive line and a couple of rookies on that line. Can they grind out the clock with the lead at Pittsburgh?
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, one taste and you get it. And by Expedia, where you can make your ideal trip a reality.
"60 Minutes coming up immediately after this one, except for those of you on the West Coast. Ed Bradley with his interview with Derek Jeter. The most impressive 86-yard drive the last time they had the football. It resulted in the touchdown and the lead. Here's the pass to Givens, who's now over 100 on the day. And we have an update, so we'll send it back to you, Greg Gumbel in New York.
Jim and Phil in Seattle. Sean Alexander, 1-yard touchdown run in the 4th quarter. His 4th TD of the day. He had a career high tying as the Seahawks beat the Cardinals 37-12. Cardinals start the season 0-3.
Wow, and so many people, thank you, Greg, had Arizona as the sleeper team of the year. They actually made a change at quarterback in the midst of that game today. Took out Warner and brought in Josh McCown. Bethel Johnson into the lineup for New England, and they're still throwing. Great time. It's Dillon. And Dillon bounces all the way to the Pittsburgh 45.
Well, here's what it says. They're trying to win the game. I always love this about the Patriots. They get in a situation like this, not afraid. Let's go for it. And kids to defense, they think you're trying to run the clock out. They're in wonderful rhythm. And Jim, too, the left side of the offensive line, 2 rookies just coming in and doing a tremendous job.
Tom Brady now over 300 on the game, 312 yards.
Look at the total yards. The Patriots is consistently moving the football.
Another hookup with Gibbons. Holt, and then Ferrier brings him down at the 25. 3 plays after the punt and 3 pass plays for big yardage.
3 turnovers, 9 penalties, key injuries, and they're trying to drive to win the game. That doesn't happen too often in the NFL. Again, Tom Brady hangs in there. Pittsburgh trying to be aggressive, and when you've got an aggressive defense, when you cross receivers, somebody gets mixed up in the coverage, and that's why the wide receiver was wide open.
51 yards on the 3 plays. Now they run it, and it's pass with his first rush of the season for 4. After a loss going back to the start of the 03 season, Tom Brady is 4-0, but look a couple of lines above that. 8 touchdowns and no interceptions.
It shows you what he is, the competitor, how much he hates losing. Of course, they have a tremendous football team. He said to us on this past Monday, he said, hey guys, let's don't go crazy about this one loss.
And that time Dillon stacked up. He also said that if there's one thing I've learned, this is a process. It's a 16-game season, and I like our team. I'm confident about what we're doing.
That's well said. It's a process, and just Tim, we said it so many times. Just keep grinding away.
Brady is 8 for 8 in this quarter, but he faces 3rd down and 5. And a timeout. Timeout called by the Patriots. Just outside of 4 minutes. Well, at the start of this game, some exciting action early. Dillon from 4 yards out on the Patriots' first possession. 1 play later, Heinz Ward goes 85 yards, the longest reception of his career. Reed with a couple of field goals, 13-7 Steelers. Vinatieri got one of his own from 48. And then Corey Dillon finding pay dirt for the 2nd time in this game for the lead. And that's how it stands right now with 3rd and 5 coming up at the Pittsburgh 20. You heard Tom Brady last night, Phil, talk about how we're evolving as a passing offense. He said, we lost to Carolina. We still threw for 270 yards. Years ago, you'd lose a game. Sometimes you look at the stats and they were brutal.
Yeah, they are evolving, Jim. They're doing different things this year. Tom Brady told us, I'm throwing routes and different stuff that I've never thrown in my career, and he seems to really like it, and it's invigorated him as far as what they're trying to do.
Sets up the screen. It's Falk, and a big tackle that keeps him short of the first. I thought there might be open room there for the 1st down, but Ike Taylor makes the hit.
Ike Taylor comes up and basically saves the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Still gives them a chance to win, because otherwise it's going to be a 1st down and maybe lead to a touchdown.
So Vinatieri back out. 35-yard try. And that kick is good for the 7-point lead.
Well, I tell you what, as he gets older, his leg looks to get stronger. He is just powering the football up through there. But that tackle by Ike Taylor, that keeps the Steelers in this game. Down 7. Now they get one more chance to try to drive it down and tie the game up.
We've had some games already today where 20-20 seemed to be the number. That took the Jets and the Jags to overtime before Jacksonville prevailed on a Leftwich hookup with Jimmy Smith. The Raiders pulled even at Philadelphia late in that game at 20-20 before Akers kicked the winner with just seconds to go to win it for the Eagles. And now Roethlisberger would like to get his chance to pull even and see what unfolds.
Well, look what's happened so far in this game. Total yards. And, you know, when we show you these shots, you look at everybody on the sideline, the body language. The Steelers, hey, they have been pushed around here today, and they know it. So that's deflating because, hey, they pride themselves on being a big, tough, powerful football team.
Deuce Staley seeing his first action of the season. At the 5, Coakley. Red straight ahead. Vinatieri tries to make the tackle. And Coakley sets up the Steelers near the 50. Tully Bantakane finally able to drag him down after 44 yards on the return.
Boy, does this make it a lot easier on the Steelers team, of course. Now they let to go 50 yards, but good blocking down the field. Adam Vinatieri, that's a nice job. Slows him down just enough so some of the defenders can reverse the field and come and make the tackle.
Bethel Johnson also had an angle on him. We'll call it from the 49 of the Steelers. And they crank up this offense for the first time in the half. And a quick pass to Randall L. Gets 7.
Well, even though they don't have to, the Steelers still have all 3 timeouts and basically 3 minutes to go. They're going to go with the hurry-up offense just to change it up, to give themselves some rhythm and maybe catch New England a little off guard.
Pass batted down at the line. He was trying to find Ward across the middle. He's got 3rd and 3. Again tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes, Cold Case with its season premiere, and Martha Behind Bars. Sybil Shepherd as Martha Stewart. That's all tonight here on America's #1 network.
I'm not sure Mike Vrabel wouldn't have intercepted that last pass if it wasn't knocked down. He faked the blitz and ran right back to the middle, and Ben Roethlisberger was going to throw it right to him.
Pivotal 3rd and 3. Roethlisberger snagged by Wilson. Tough grab, and he has the first down at the 38. Ellis Hobbs defending.
Every throw and catch is so difficult right now for the Steelers.
They brought in Quincy Morgan, lined up far to the right, up there at the top of your screen. The former Brown and then a Cowboy ever so shortly. On the run, Roethlisberger, and that was geared toward Heinz Ward. 2:06 to go in the game.
Discipline by the pass rush has kept Ben Roethlisberger in the pocket more. He's used to that, making that first move. He thinks he's going to be out in the free and nobody around him. All of a sudden, there is a defender. That's what's caused him almost to make big mistakes because he got to pull up and get rid of the football quickly.
Roethlisberger's hit only 38% of his passes today. 1 second on the play clock. Got it away just in time. And a big catch, Heinz Ward. Another first down at the 2-minute warning. Right between Samuel and Gus Scott, and Ward limping around after that. 2-minute warning in Pittsburgh. Coming out of the 2-minute warning at Heinz Field, Jim Nantz with Phil Simms and Bonnie Bernstein. Heinz Ward on that last reception of 12 yards for the first down was hopping around like he might have tweaked a hamstring, and he ran over during the break to his trainers and said, "Hey, tape me up." And he ran out there, worked on it a little bit. He wants to stay in the game, obviously, with so much on the line here. 1:58 to go, needing the touchdown and the PAT for the tie. All right, to get this game extended. 4-receiver formation from the 26. Bear in mind the Steelers have all of their timeouts. hookup. That's Quincy Morgan. And that's his first catch as a Steeler. Chad Scott was defending. Picked up 9 on that one. We'll snap it at the 17. In this area inside the 20, this is where Ward is especially dangerous. Had 2 touchdown catches last week in this range. There's Roethlisberger taken off inside the 10, and a flag is down at the 18.
Boy, that was a really timely call, the quarterback draw.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding, 77. Offense that is declined. Holding, 73. Offense that is accepted. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Not once, but twice.
You know, you just don't expect a quarterback draw in that situation that far away from the goal line, but they did do it in the championship game. We saw the Statue of Liberty earlier from Ben Roethlisberger, and it worked. And it caught the Patriots by surprise, too. Only the penalty brought it back.
Set up second down and 11.
Of course, he knows it's a 4-down territory, so that's how you view it as a quarterback. You judge plays differently knowing that you're going to use all 4 downs.
Roethlisberger flips it over, and Randall L. cannot find the handle.
He breaks the pocket, but even if Randall L. catches his football, the defense is all around him, so he is only going to gain about 1 yard or 2. The Patriots, once again, they're doing just such a good job of staying disciplined and not getting out of place where Ben Roethlisberger can move and make the big throw down the field.
The bust, Jerome Bettis, he'll be back after the bye week, they say. That's just 2 weeks away. Hoping his team can pull this one out. Third down and 11. Here they come. Roethlisberger runs into the traffic. And Willie McGinnis and Jarvis Green and others set up a 4th down play for Pittsburgh.
You got to show patience as a quarterback. It's an easy blitz to pick up. They do it. Look down the field and give your wide receivers a chance. You know, and it looked maybe a little enticing to him early, but look how fast they closed it up. 3, 4 Patriot defenders right there.
It'll be 4th and 11 coming out of the Steelers timeout. And what an effort we're seeing here today by a secondary that again is not playing with its full lineup. Tyrone Poole inactive because of injury. Randall Gay, Dwayne Starks playing but not 100%. We've seen Gus Scott in and out of the game with an injury, but most importantly Rodney Harrison went out in the first quarter. And this was the injury. And it wasn't pretty. The left knee buckling, and he was carted off the field.
Well, they have definitely got over the loss of players and the emotions and all that. They have played hard, and now it's 4th and 11. What do you do as a defense? Do you blitz, make him throw the ball quick and make the tackle? That could be risky. Or do you drop back? Well, I'm kind of conservative. I'd say you drop back and you make him thread the needle with a pass down the field to beat you.
Well, this is it. 4th down and 11. Timeout called by the Patriots. You know, the Steelers were moving into New England territory when it comes to win streaks, and that also applies to the quarterback win streaks. Regular season, you had McMahon, then you had Brady. Roethlisberger with 15, never lost a regular season start. Overall, his only loss, of course, to New England in the playoffs. Dan Marino with 14. Roethlisberger's mark even better than not only Marino, but Montana.
It's pretty impressive, Jim, for a young quarterback. I was trying to read Bill Cowher's lips, and I bet he was saying, stay in the pocket and give it a chance to develop.
Well, you'd think in a situation like this, your first option you'd look for would be Heinz Ward, but he's still hobbling around, taped up after a leg injury a couple of plays ago. They send Ward to the left in a slot to the left. Now they'll shift him over to the right side.
Here they come.
Coming after him. Going for Morgan. Morgan could have had it, but there's a flag on the play against the former Steeler, Chad Scott. They had one-on-one. Quincy Morgan, a big target. And Chad Scott.
He is, Jim, but you know what? When you're going to blitz and you're a defensive corner.
Pass interference. 30. Defense. Automatic first down in spite of the foul.
The number one thing you have to think of is they're going to run down the sideline and look for the long pass. Chad Scott was in good position, but he puts his left hand on Quincy Morgan.
And Roethlisberger knew it right away. 23-yard penalty when they had to have something on fourth down, and now they've got new life at the 4.
Well, what he did is he gave the receiver, at least he gave him a chance to make a play, and that's a tough call against Chad Scott.
Now they've got Willie Parker lined up in the eye behind Dan Kreider. They have 2 timeouts. First and goal at the 4. Fake to Parker. Up top they go, and Heinz Ward with the touchdown.
Tell you what, the Steelers, they earned that 50 yards. That was a tough drive. Nothing was easy. The catches, Jim, go back to the first 3 pass completions that Ben Roethlisberger had in that drive. All 3 were excellent catches. None of them easy, and they got the drive going, and they sustained it with passes that were off the mark, and they gathered them in.
Heinz Ward, his 2nd touchdown of the game. That's back-to-back weeks with a couple. And how about Heinz Ward? They tape him up, and then they toss it up to Ward, and he makes the tying touchdown catch.
Well, he gets Chad Scott, and it was, again, patience at the line of scrimmage by Heinz Ward. It makes Chad Scott think it's going to be a run, and then when he takes off, it's too late. You cannot catch up. And that's the time to throw that pass. First down. And Ben Roethlisberger, he knows it's been a tough day. He hung in there. No interceptions. He's been hit a lot. Hard to find open receivers.
And now the question is, do they score too quickly? The Patriots will come out without any timeouts. And there it is, 20-20. Been a popular score in a couple of games today. Thrillers late at New York with the Jets and Jags going to overtime with that same score, with the Jacksonville team prevailing. Ellis Hobbs, Bethel Johnson will be back to try to return the kick of Reed. Don't forget about that 44-yard kickoff return by Coakley that really set up that series for Pittsburgh. You said at the start that these are two teams you have to figure. Of course, 2 of the 6 in the AFC playoff equation. And down the road, months from now, this game will be such a factor in the seeding process. For tie breaks, etc. Man is open. And he's racing out to the 38. Ellis Hobbs. He's had a couple of nice returns, and he thought he could have even broken it for more. What is Vinatieri's career long? 57. Which means he'd have to get somewhere just inside the Pittsburgh 40 to even attempt it into the open end at Heinz Field, which is the most difficult end to kick maybe in the whole league.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, there's not a breath of air in this stadium. And we saw Adam Vinatieri kick one from over 50 that hit the net. So he could get it there from 57 yards if the offense can get it down there.
Operating without timeouts. They come in after Brady. Pass, snagged. Good catch. Falk gets out of bounds, but not until he picks up big yardage. 17 in all before Ferrier chased him down, and Polamalu as well.
That was some catch. A terrific move. And then he gets his thoughts together and gets to the sideline.
And he's hobbling. It puts Patrick Pass into the backfield. Brady goes over to Patrick Pass. There's a flag in the secondary, and on the tightrope, Patrick Pass gets in the field goal range. We'll see the flag way back at the 23.
Boy, good job by Tom Brady, just moving a little, never thinking of running the football.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact, 26, defense. That penalty has declined. Result of the play, first down.
So with no timeouts, they complete one to Falk. He races out of bounds to stop the clock. Then the pass. He picks up 14 down the other sideline. And Brady is now 10 for 10 in the final quarter.
And two, Jim, you're already in field goal range.
Yeah, from this point, it would be somewhere around 49 or 50 yards, but they have time to get closer. Corey Dillon returns to the lineup. Dillon just back to the line. That's it.
I think the Patriots will definitely try one more chance and throw the football and not just settle for a 50 or 49-yard field goal.
Pittsburgh calls the timeout.
Good call. You know, with this time left on the clock, 50 seconds, you don't have to worry about where you throw it. You can throw it inbounds. Clock is not a factor.
Roethlisberger engineers the touchdown drive that tied it, hooking up with Heinz Ward. Now their defense and even special teams must rise to the moment.
Well, too, you know what's really been impressive so much? I thought it was such a cause for alarm when the Patriots had to reshuffle their offensive line around when Matt Light went out. But as it's gone on, they've just gotten better and better. And Tom Brady's pass protection, you said his numbers here in the second half. They're perfect. His pass protection has just been awesome.
It's like in one game they've learned all the adjustments they needed to, and they protected their quarterback. Second down and 10 from the 31. Backfiring Divins, and he's tackled at the 25, setting up what would be, if they get no closer, 42-43 yards for Vinatieri.
Third down and 4.
And they're bringing out the kicker.
Steelers do not even bother to call their last timeout.
I thought if they're going to take the last one, they take another one to maybe have a chance to try to do something if he makes this. Vinatieri with the kick from 43 yards, and he does it again with 1 second.
Unbelievable. Said many times, the best clutch kicker probably in the history of the NFL, and he's been so automatic and so tremendous. Never seen anything like it. Anytime there's a big kick, regardless of the elements, the circumstances, he can put it through.
Not that he's an easy guy to ice, but they did have another timeout, the Steelers. A man who's won 2 Super Bowls with that right foot. And from 43 yards, he just drilled it.
Look at that, the emotion there. That's a lot of emotion from this sideline of the Patriots. They know what they fought through.
The body lean, not going to help. Bill Cowher saying his team needed to find its identity. An identity search is what he called this week. Who are we? We're going to find out when we play the Patriots, he said. How about the fourth quarter for Tom Brady? 12 for 12, 168 yards.
Yeah, give him a lot of credit. He threw it extremely well. The offensive line, everything, Jim, the play calling. And the Patriots, they won the battle. They deserved to win the game. They outplayed the Pittsburgh Steelers today. They were the more physical team. They executed more plays on offense. They executed more plays on defense, too.
And just a second remaining. That's it. Bill Belichick. Last night he must have said it 2 or 3 times. We have to improve our playing and our coaching. That's our goal this week. Knock it on the ground. Ball scooped up. Not even time for a lateral. James Harrison, the game's over. The game is over, and the Patriots pull it out. 23-20. Coming up 60 minutes. Then Cold Case, the season premiere. And Sybil Shepherd, Martha Behind Bars. Both teams walk off the field now. 2-1. New England wins for Phil and Bonnie. Jim Nance saying so long from the Steel City.